everyone, it's Jay here, and welcome back to this new episode of the Over Manga Cast. On this episode, we got a friend of ours who recommended this reading, Cat's Eye. Taking it back a little bit, 80s manga, Cat's Eye. If you're reading along with us, we read chapters 1 through 14. And start the episode!
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and as always here at the top of the show, we talk about our familiarity with the property that we read this week. My familiarity with this is that my friend told me that there was an anime adaptation being done by Disney, and I thought, that's neat. I wonder what the source material is about. And now we're here. Jacob, I understand the exact same thing happened to you. Because I was there.
Yeah, we the two of us learned about this at the same time, and both were like, hey, we should do an episode on this.
And here we are. Jay, how about you?
I'm glad you asked, Sam. So I had no prior knowledge of this series. In fact, when Sam and Jacob suggested this to read, I was initially excited because I thought it was my favorite international girl group. It is not. So we'll go off of that.
It's your new favorite international girl group.
Sure.
And Matt.
I knew even less than Jay because I didn't know what Cat's Eye the girl group was. Although I did find out that this had a crossover movie with Lupin the Third last year. So probably watching that.
Yeah, fun. All right, and we open up like we do in so many Phantom Thief manga with a whole bunch of police around an art museum in the dead of night. And you can immediately tell who the main character is because he's the one with the dopiest expression eating an onigiri, commenting idly, this piece of art that's about to be stolen sure does look like my girlfriend. I wonder what that's about. Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm going to give the other officer here some coffee, please, with sleeping pills.
Here, have this coffee that my girlfriend made. Oh, yeah, your girlfriend makes really good coffee. Hey, strangely effeminate security guards, do you want some coffee as well? No, we're good. All right, well, I suppose any minute now, Cat's Eye is going to...
My initial reaction, this has got to fuck up your heart, like, seriously.
Sleeping pills in the coffee.
Never mix it up or in a downer.
It's also enough sleeping pills to one sip immediately knock them out. This would have killed them.
Yes.
These are two grown men.
It's 80s sleeping pills. They do what the plot needs them to.
Yeah, nobody in this is capable of dying from any amount of poisoning and or head trauma. Sometimes both. But yes, the strangely effeminate guards whip off their outfits, revealing themselves to be a pair of hot ladies.
My favorite part is they had disguised those like 3-inch heels they're wearing as police shoes. I don't know how they did that.
You could totally run in those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just had really long pant legs.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't need to be so judgmental.
Oh my god, they hide their feet with a speech bubble.
I'm just saying, you try to run a day in my high heels, guys, you would fail.
Probably.
I failed to run in track shoes. What do you mean? I don't need to have a lack of athleticism.
So, it is revealed that one of these dashing thieves is in fact the Hitomi previously spoken of by the now unconscious detective, as she pats his sleeping face, thanks him for the compliment, and snags the painting. And this now establishes the loop that will happen every chapter.
Yes, it's very cute and adorable.
For the majority of our reading.
It also establishes that our not main character, but kind of main character, basically, Toshio Utsume, is the dumbest man in Japan.
But also the hottest and most sought after. I don't understand it.
We haven't gotten there yet, but we cut to him getting reamed by his boss because he's in charge of this mission to stop this Phantom Thief troop, Cat's Eye, who is a single individual.
At this point, they think that Cat's Eye is a single man.
Instead of 3 dashing ladies.
And he's basically going like, you are in charge of catching criminals who announce they're going to steal from us, and you fail every single time. You should really quit being a police officer. You are the worst person ever. And he's just like, wow, I really got reamed by the boss. Cat's Eye.
Phrasing.
That name gives me such a headache. I better go see my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, where does she work again? Oh, right. The coffee shop called Cat's Eye. It
Yes.
sure is weird that my girlfriend works for a coffee shop that's named after the exact thing I'm constantly being thwarted by.
Hey, Hitomi, so good to see you again. Yeah, no, Cat's Eye got me again. I just can't understand how. Nobody could have possibly known. I mean, except for you, who I told every detail about because I'm a total blabbermouth, but...
Again.
Oh, man, awful. Could you tell me more secrets about how the police are going to stop Cat's Eye? That burglar sure is super cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's the degree to which the sisters are so open about liking, air quotes, liking Cat's Eye is the part that, because it's like, a lot of this stuff is very much just, it's a product of its time. This series wears its age on its sleeve, and the overwhelming majority of it I find charming, but there is a degree of like, with how positive they are towards Cat's Eye whilst working in the Cat's Eye coffee shop.
Man, that sure was a nice date we went on, he told me. Hey, let's go to this art museum where they're showing off a really famous jewel. Wow, that jewel is so pretty. How are you going to guard it? Well, we're going to have 4 men on 5-hour shifts, keeping the real one in the basement and a fake one here in the display room. And then...
This part is just set up for what is like a fun little comedy, which is what this is. It's the details we learn later on that really double down on how insane this situation is. But don't worry, we'll get there. But Sam, you did mention a date they're going on, and they are, because Hitomi needs to like console her man because they are dating. And in love, maybe not, because
they are 70s dating.
They are high school sweethearts who have been dating since then. Her sisters are making fun of her because Hitomi has a alternative persona when she's with them that is, obviously I'm not in love with him. I'm just using him for information. I'm the mole. Which they don't really believe, but they kind of do.
I'm just a cold-hearted femme fatale who's getting the information that I need from this foolish man. I would never catch actual feelings for him.
And they're all like, eye roll.
Yeah.
Is that why you're wearing the engagement ring he gave you? Shut up.
Yeah, she has an aggressive case of Sunsun, and her sisters will occasionally tease her about it, but not actually press her on her actual feelings.
Yeah. Also, you say that, but he just mentions, while they're on the date, he just goes like, hey, what's your birthstone? Because I was thinking about buying you an engagement ring. And I'm like, buddy, that's a terrible way to go about it. Hey, what kind of stupid rocks do you like?
So, from a female perspective, I would say that's not a dumb way to go about it, because obviously he wants it to be, somewhat sentimental, personalized to her, and he asked her preference.
Yes, but this is the first time he's mentioned it. It's the same sentence of him mentioning an engagement, which she is not prepared for in any way.
Yeah, because their relationship is not that serious.
Or it's because they've been together for so long. So we don't have the added background. We speculate wildly about this, but it's also possible, like, hey, I, am established in my job as an investigator. Maybe it's time.
Engaged by the power of raw inertia.
Yes.
Man, romance sure hit different back then. This is basically a like canon action flick with less blood and guns. With the whole, the policeman who's gonna blow his stack if we get one more case wrong. Oh, golly, we got another case wrong. I better go talk to my hot girlfriend about it.
Hot girlfriend is the case gone wrong.
It's Charlie's Angels. It's a canon action flick. It's freaking Carmen Sandiego.
And then this does have strong Carmen Sandiego vibes, doesn't it?
It does.
And then it's them planning a heist, but also going like, oh, but aren't you gonna like stop being a cat burglar to go be a housewife? And she's like, no, that was never the plan. Also, our little sister can't come with us on this heist because she has homework because she's in high school. Ah!
So unfair.
Really, any excuse to have I not show up in these heists.
She's there like 40% of the time.
Yeah.
She's there enough for like the for the union contract.
I'm just saying,
She's there enough
I appreciate her presence only because it kind of breaks us out of this pattern of manga where it happens to be just as convenience they happen to have like a high school episode. No, they literally are explaining the reality of having a younger sister who is in high school, and this is constantly referenced over and over and over again. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like Rui and Hitomi could potentially get a little bit too serious if it weren't for I around goofing off, quite frankly.
True. They are two different flavors of the same kind of deathly serious.
I mean, it seems like Hitomi is the main character, and I and Rui kind of exist to like poke at different sides of her personality.
Yeah.
With I being like, I'm fun loving and like remembering to do this, whereas Rui is just like, hey, we've got a really dark backstory that we're not going to talk about for several chapters, but I want you to never forget what they did to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, like she feels like she's in a different manga sometimes, and it's kind of drawn as if she's in a different manga.
Yeah, that's the thing that initially threw me for a loop with this manga. It's drawn in a very like detailed, like noir drama style, and yet it's very goofy.
Yeah,
like
everything looked like that back then.
Yep.
They hadn't invented color yet.
They hadn't invented multi-tone printing.
So I'm in the middle of being like, what it was something similar to how like Garden threw me for a loop, because it's like, why is this extremely seriously drawn thing so goofy? Oh, I see. It's just like that. Okay. Once I accepted the reality of the situation, I'm like, okay, I'm having more fun.
So anyway, Cat's Eye succeeded on another heist, and it turns out that this was the straw that broke the camel's back, because Police Boy is now going to have to resign if he loses one more case. And I'm like,
Fair.
Wow, that is really fair. You're allowed to... I didn't realize you could play by baseball rules. It's 3 failures and then you're out. Like,
I'm just saying, he has a job to do and he's not delivering. So
I just love that there are no other options than him being in charge of like high quality gem theft and not being in the police at all. Like those are the only 2 career paths for him.
There is no in between until a later chapter, but we'll get to it.
I also like how the drama here is he's going to have to resign from the police, and that prompts Hitomi to be like, oh no, are we making him give up on his dream? That's not good. When later we have a chapter that's her trying to get him to quit the police.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, and then we get further clarity that it's not just the police, it's don't be investigating me.
Yeah, no, this I feel works pretty well, because the idea is, I mean, you know, saying the quiet part out loud, she actually does care about him a lot, and they pretty obviously are endgame. She wants him to be happy, but she doesn't like the fact that he's investigating her specifically. So she's at conflict with what she wants for him and what she wants for herself. That's why she's inconsistent about that sort of... Like, she's happy with the idea of him being a cop in a different town, because she doesn't have the time to put 2 and 2 together. That means that he'll be leaving.
Yeah,
fair.
Until it's literally threatened, and she's like, oh, wait a minute.
Wait, we can't have that.
Crap, he's my dear boyfriend that I love. I mean, he's our best informant. Okay, he's both.
Anyway, we have my favorite like scene with Hitomi, where she, after hearing he's going to have to resign, comes back to the cafe, yells at all of her sisters. Then Ryu's just like, hey, could you maybe calm down? You're being a little emotional. I am not being emotional.
How freaking dare you?
Slams the door and then cries over a flashback of her and her boyfriend meeting.
Yep. Completely rational. I love it.
No emotion at all.
Nope.
So, because Rui's not getting involved with this nonsense.
Yep. This time it's Hitomi and I going in.
Yeah, must not be a school night.
Yep.
We get to see Ai's cat burglar outfit with its popped collar.
Yes.
Did we mention 80s?
I love how the other two are like black latex femme fatales, and then I is, here is my tracksuit.
Yeah.
Gotta have it age appropriate. Mm-hmm.
It could be black like that. She's hiding in a tree.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. Stop being so judgmental.
She usually does do a lot of guy in the chair type stuff. But yeah, it is pretty funny, the differences.
So they go to and I love this. It's like, all right, so Hitomi knows that they have a fake gemstone on the display and the real one is down in the safe. She's like, all right, but I need to give him a win. So maybe if I just steal her logic, not directly stated until later, is if I steal the fake gemstone, then it's like Laval. It's I got the win because I was able to steal the thing, but he got the win because I stole the fake thing and he kept the real thing safe. Mm-hmm. This is a flawless plan to save the face of my boyfriend and yet still keep my honor as a thief. All right, let me go ahead and snag this gem and I've got you, Cat's Eye!
Yeah, it's insane. He's hiding like a jack-in-the-box underneath the museum pedestal.
And she killed the lights by blowing up the fuse box. So they're in complete darkness, so they don't recognize each other.
Which is good, because you'll notice in the cat burglar suits, for all of the characters, nobody wears any masks.
Nope.
Not even a domino mask.
Nope.
A great interaction with Police Boy. He has this person pinned down and is just like, don't worry, guys, I've got him. With his very soft, feminine biceps and low-cut latex outfit.
Say no more. I'm there.
This guy's a weirdo. He's also got pretty rockin' tits. Wait a second.
This is a boob I'm groping. Yeah, pervert! Slap.
Yes, you gotta have hentai!
Yeah, and that knocks the lights on.
But she's already fled into the night. Whoa, Cat's Eye is a woman? Holy crap.
Better tell no one until I tell people.
Seriously.
I love this guy.
I think the idea is that it's supposed to only be known within the police.
It's being kept as like a secret that they know, I guess.
Yes, except for the fact that he goes and runs his mouth very, very loudly. Cafe that's never open. He always goes in when it's not open.
I don't know why they would keep this secret, because it's not like Cat's Eye doesn't know they know, because he grabbed her boob.
So I will feel like I think that only happens in chapter 1, and chapter 1 does have a lot of things that feel like kind of piloty.
Yeah.
Like how her attitude is like, oh man, I don't want him to quit being a police officer. Whereas like in following chapters, it's like, if he quit being a police officer, that would be easy for me. You know, things are toned down so that a longer running series kind of works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she fails to steal the ruby.
Yep.
There's a bit at the end of Hitomi's sisters, like he comes in and is like, man, bad news, I didn't catch Cat's Eye, but I did fake them out with the fake ruby. Right, Hitomi? I told you all about that.
You knew about that? Shut up.
Yeah, man. Also, weird thing. Cat's Eye, not a dude, but a chick. Got some rockin' tits. Can't wait to get my hands on them later. By them, I mean cats. Wait, nope, should have phrased that better.
Huh? What's her problem?
Ladies.
Women, am I right?
No comment.
Anyway, the next
That's
chapter.
our tone setter chapter.
Yep. The next chapter has them arguing about how she's not marrying a detective, and then this isn't brought up again. Probably for the best for a long-running series, but it's just like, hey, remember when you kind of weirdly proposed to me with like no build-up? Yes.
No, and we hope the audience doesn't either.
Excuse me, I make a lot of money on my... Because the thing is, his job, he has to be paid well, because he's like a lead detective.
Well,
Yeah.
also the fact that it's like a respectable position. I mean, most women would be like, okay, he's not only like working as a cop, but he's also like inspector. That's pretty impressive, right? He's very confused why this woman is just like, no, absolutely not.
Well, aren't you tired of working like in this cafe you own with your sisters?
Which is so bizarre. I'm like, she's a business like co-owner or something. Why would she?
Yeah, they own the cafe, so
I'm
no. Like, this isn't the same thing as working in a cafe.
This is my cafe. Like, what?
They own their weird modern art cafe with its asymmetrical roof.
So, this isn't confirmed, but that cafe is 100% like in the museum district, right?
It's gotta be.
It
like
has
that-
to be, yeah.
Like, that's my vibe on like why they have so much money but never spend any of it. Must be.
Rent's expensive, guys. Gotta make it work.
We'll circle back to this because I realize as I said that out loud, I think they explain away that at the end of our reading, but we'll get there.
They do, and it kind of drives me up a wall because there's like several chapters where I'm like, you have more money than God.
It's not enough.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, it drives them to do crime.
Yes, a question does rise to the casual reader up until you get to the end of volume 2, where it's just like, so they're doing multi-million-dollar heists,
and they're
every
just breaking
week?
even. They're just breaking even. That's how expensive it is.
They're
Thanks,
comfortable.
inflation.
They must be comfortable.
It's inflation.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I got early on that they were specifically because I also happened across a summary of the series that explains things that would have been nice to have known earlier. So I was kind of like waiting for certain things to be said. It is implied that they're stealing specific things and not necessarily selling everything, but they also, like, if they're stealing jewels, they're selling those ones, right? Like, and the series is not clear on whether or not they're actually profiting from their thefts or if it's all plot related that doesn't come up until the end of volume 2.
Yeah, they do the thing you would expect from this series where they're like, yes, but we're the thieves that only steal from thieves. It's Sly Cooper, but not Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get even worse Sly Cooper later on.
You're right.
Sly with negative riz.
Anyway.
But yes, we have, he told me being like, I hate the police for unspecified reasons, so I'll never marry you if you're a cop.
Which, I mean, good on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got like a really fun panel.
I feel like they should have had this conversation. At least, like, he seems completely blown out of the water. Like, what?
This does feel like the first time they're having this conversation, which is...
Considering how long they've been dating.
Like, at no point did this woman ever say, you know what? I'm not a fan of the police. Like, at no point.
Listen, Hitomi, I'm really concerned by the fact that you specifically hate the police in your cafe Cat's Eye, filled with these art pieces that all seem to resemble you and your sisters that are, I think, the things that were stolen from... What's that, Chief? Cat's Eye made another threat? I have to leave.
I have to not think about this thought at all.
Himbo cop, away!
That energy just throughout this entire reading, yes.
His entire character is himbo cop away.
Bro is not capable of stringing two thoughts together if a minute separates them.
Yep.
He loves his girlfriend too much to doubt her in any way, even when the red flags are constantly hitting him in the face.
Yeah.
Really, I think this guy just needs a good, like, friend, a real guy friend to, like, pull him aside and be like, dude.
No, he needs a girlfriend that he can have at work.
Yeah.
A work wife, if you will.
Yeah, he needs a work wife, yeah.
We'll get to her. But for this particular vignette, it's the classic. It's like, this target is being kept at the top of a skyscraper, and we've got every entrance locked. How could
It's
they
the tightrope episode.
It's the tightrope episode.
Well, except it's not. It's the fun part.
That's true, yeah.
they set up the tightrope episode, and then at the end, it's like, haha, the tightrope was a diversion.
Yes, you see, we shot the rope through the door, or through the window, and then we had a mannequin.
Smoke bomb.
We had a mannequin crawl across the wire to the other building somehow.
This is what really establishes Cat's Eye is way too convoluted, because they had bombs planted on the inside window pane and had disguised themselves as cops. They had already won. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to establish that I is afraid of heights and then only mention that one more time.
Do they do that part in front of Himbo Cop?
No.
Okay.
No, that's during the planning stage.
If they'd done it in front of him, I would have let that slide as like the whole point is they're like
that she's playing up the idea that she'd never be able to do this. But that's
and they're planting it in his head that someone might try and be an acrobat. Because Rui does that. She specifically goes like, weird day I wouldn't want to be an acrobat in like weather like this. And he's just like, what?
Super windy.
No, sorry, I was just thinking about something completely unrelated. There's a circus in town. Oh my god, I forgot that's right. He runs into them on vacation at the museum that something's going to be robbed from. It's just all three girls sitting at a cafe going, hey, what are you girls doing here? It's like, oh, we're just here to enjoy a day off. It's like, wait, so you close the cafe on a work day?
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of owning your own business. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
I guess we know why they never have money.
So anyway, we witnessed somebody crawling across the high wire with a tube that clearly had a painting in it. So that's our thief. Come on, boys, let's get to the top of that neighboring skyscraper. We've got him cornered. Haha, we've got you, Cat's Eye. A dummy? What?
Meanwhile, Cat's Eye unveils their disguise on the inside after. Well, no, they stay in disguise because the director's there. Also, the director of this museum looks like Hitler. If Hitler gained like 70 pounds.
Yeah.
He's got the mustache.
I think he also vaguely alludes to being German at one point.
I mean, yeah, again, the product of its times, a lot of references to just Germany. Well,
I think the main character's father is a Japanese nationalized.
Which is realized later. No, other way around. They claim that he is a Japanese national who naturalized in Germany to escape.
That feels like you would do that the other way around.
I don't know.
His last name is German is the thing.
I know, which is why it was confusing. But I mean, it's just kind of like, wait, so are we saying that they're Hafu? But then that's never referenced ever again.
Their mother is conspicuously missing.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that. I've got some words. But anyway, the whole point is it just makes Himbo Cop look so dumb in this situation. Because he runs out of the room. They're like, hey, director, while you're crying about losing your picture to Cat's Eye, do you mind if we just take that empty picture frame? Yeah, sure, it's worthless to me now. Okay, thanks. And turns out they just put a white piece of paper over the picture frame to make it look like it'd been stolen out of the frame.
I mean, it worked, so it's not dumb.
If it's stupid, but it works, it's not stupid.
I don't think that works in fiction.
It's so the fact that there's so many points of failure in this stupid plan.
It's so unnecessarily elaborate.
Well, the
but I mean, like, it's a heist, though. It's a heist in a manga, so
it's the fact that the sole force of failure is Himbo Cop, and he keeps getting jobs like that.
Yep.
Even when he succeeds, he loses. Like, it's just like the thing he got praised for of like stopping them from stealing that ruby wasn't really a success because the fake ruby got stolen. He just swapped it out. Like,
Congratulations, you kept it safe by failing upwards.
Congratulations.
In retrospect, it's kind of linked to the main plot, but not really. This one's just a cute little vignette about high school love.
They link a lot of these earlier chapters back to the main plot by just, having those characters happen to be involved in things.
Yep, because I is rushing out because she's like, I'm gonna be late for school. She doesn't even have the bread in the mouth. She's
inadequate.
Yep. And as she's running down the street, who should pull up but Toshio? Wow, thanks. Not legally brother-in-law, but like
we're getting there.
Probably someday. Anyway, yeah, I could really use a lift. Are you going to do that cop thing where you put your signal on in order to clear traffic? No, I'm a real cop. I have to go the speed limit. Whatever. Anyway,
I can't wait for him to have some fun alley maneuvers later. I think one more chapter.
Anyway, drop me off here, but we're not even near your school yet. Hi, boyfriend. I mean, Kunua-kun.
Hey, who's that guy that looks suspiciously like me as a high schooler?
Well, you see, the author is only capable of drawing 3 faces.
The sisters are distinguished by one of them is the main character. The older sister has a mole, and the younger sister has shorter hair.
It's not even consistent where the mole is on Rui. It's maybe under her eye, or maybe near her lips. I don't know.
It's on her face.
Yep. The point being, we learn we have Hitomi going on another date to another art museum where
Cat's Eye has announced they're going to steal things.
We also point out just what a terrible boyfriend Himbo Cop is.
Yeah.
I've also forgotten his name. I'm going to say that right now. Hoshio. Hoshio is because every time she pretends like she doesn't like museums. And he's just like, yeah, we're going here again because I work at museums.
Yeah, but they're here to steal the British Crown jewels. They don't have the actual British Crown, but they do have the jewels in the replica. Okay.
Yes. The
real jewels in a fake crown. But if they're not the crown jewels, then it's just kind of, I don't know.
You're overthinking it.
They want an episode where they steal the crown jewels, but they can't actually steal the real crown jewels. So it's real jewels.
Why not? They've already stolen like hundreds of millions of dollars at this point.
That they're just kind of sitting on, and it's just kind of
like if they had stolen the crown jewels, sure.
It's a cat burglar trope, but there's an idea that they want they're building up, plus combine that with the later confirmation that we're the good kind of phantom thief.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's like, yes, the crown jewels are going to be kept under the strictest surveillance in order to protect them. Isn't that right, Mr. Director of the museum, Kuo? Wait a minute, isn't that the same last name as Ai's boyfriend? Oh, no.
I sure hope that this character won't get roped into the bigger plot line and be revealed to be horrible and evil. Mm-hmm. That feels like consequences they didn't that the mangaka didn't really think about at the time.
So wait, that's the same museum director?
Yeah. Basically all of the people from the previous chapters are in on the conspiracy, including this guy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, babe, turns out my dad murdered your dad 11 years ago in a fire. Oopsie daisy.
I'm really sorry. Like, really. It's a little awkward, but I'm hoping we can move past this.
Man, that really put a hamper on this awkward hand job we're getting in the back of the movie theater.
So we have to fill page counts. So we have some molesters show up to attack Ai that get beaten up by
Well, the bullies, are like accosting the kid and his girlfriend.
So are they bullies? They look like full-grown adults, which is why I was confused. I'm just who are these men?
They're older guys picking on younger.
Who are these men who beat up high schoolers?
They're delinquents picking on the freshmen.
Yeah, they're like upperclassmen, like about to graduate out, picking on the younger, weaker. And then the fun bit is not only do we have Toshio pop in and also Hitomi.
Yeah, Toshio and Hitomi just happened to drive by and kick the shit out of them.
I do like the bit where I some bully kicking in that case.
Yeah, she like donkey kicks him in the nose, and Toshio's like, "Wow, she could have handled herself."
Which I like that sort of thing.
She beat one guy of this 3. Okay, you know what? Sure.
To be fair, it also looked like the weakest of those guys. Like he was the chubby friend. So it's like, Yeah, but I
but
just love that Toshio's just like, yeah, I'm a cop, but I'm not on duty today, so I'm just gonna kick the shit out of some kids.
Well, the fun bit at the end is like, oh, you two are picking a fight now too. Flash's badge. Anyway, we're gonna leave now.
Hey, I know what I just did was really illegal, but I'm a cop.
Yep.
I won't speed, but I'll abuse my powers.
Yeah, that was like, damn. He really just said that.
I'm just
A dub-
saying,
A dub is a dub is a dub is a dub.
Hitomi's got some reason to hate cops.
Yep. So anyway, I glad you didn't get molested by those weirdos. So how's your boyfriend? He's not my boyfriend. Your face definitely said boyfriend. Also, he's the son of the guy we're gonna go steal from. No.
They explicitly don't tell her that.
Yeah, there's a whole argument between Hitomi and Rui over whether or not to tell her.
You knew.
This is another case where very much product of its time, where if you litigate the exact elements of certain characters and plot points, it gets a little bit weird, because Rui is very against lying to Ai in this chapter, but in a later chapter, she is the one initiating lying to the youngest sister for her own good. It's one of those ones where it's like, this is obviously made, by the seat of its pants, so like little inconsistencies like that crop up.
Yeah. I also like how we spent so long establishing this odd couple dynamic in a reflection of Hitomi and Toshio that we didn't really have time to plan the heist, so we're just going to have Hitomi in an action pose superimposed over the crown jewels, and then the glass case breaking with a sorry and then the ruby is gone.
Which implies what happens is she did the exact same plan they did last time, and it worked. Like, it's...
Especially because there's people surrounding it. How did she do that?
Well, it looks like she stole it in the middle of like an exhibition.
Yeah, because it's the middle of the day. Like, the entire segment of Ai learning from her boyfriend that Cat's Eye is going to attack my dad's museum is supposed to be, like, simultaneous with the heist.
I will call this out. This is kind of bullshit in a manga about Phantom Thieves to just skip
and not
the theft.
show the heist, yeah.
Especially for the crown jewels, which should be, like, to a higher level of standard. And it's just like, we stole it because we so good. Yeah, boy.
I feel like that's why they so laboriously established that they were fake crown jewels.
Yeah,
it doesn't make that choice a good one. I'm just saying.
So here's the thing, Jacob. Just as hard to steal, like.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm not defending that. I'm just saying that's the reason why they did it.
Yeah.
This manga really likes oscillating between like elaborate planning of a heist and giving a lot of screen time to interpersonal drama, and unfortunately it doesn't have the runtime of Persona 5, so
it's still kind of finding its footing at this point.
The manga also kind of pretends this chapter didn't happen. Oh my god, I forgot the best part is they come back and Ai is pissed because they went ahead and stole her boyfriend's dad's crown jewels and he got fired.
Yeah.
Even
your boyfriend came across like hard times. It's kind of awkward.
So she runs away in a fit of anger and then
gets hit by a car.
Except she doesn't. She just fainted when he got the car too close to her. Why would she faint?
She was just so stressed out, guys. She was super stressed out.
Because we get the dramatic shot of Toshio carrying her back.
Yeah, we needed the page turn to him holding her. But then, like, why? Like, it's really funny. Oh.
This chapter feels like it could have been 3 or 4.
This chapter's really rust because we don't even get to the part here where he's checking his pocket and he finds the ruby wrapped up in there and it says, "I'm sorry, Cat's Eye," which is, did I do that or did Rui do that? I'm pretty sure Rui
did. I think.
I thought I did it because she ran out and then pretended to faint so that she could slip the ruby in as like an apology for Cat's Eye. And she stole Rui's handkerchief to do it because she wanted to prove that she's a super good thief and should have been involved in the. I don't know.
I don't know.
This is a chapter that should have been more than one.
It also never gets brought up again.
This is a chapter that should have happened much later.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he then doesn't go like, man, Cat's Eye gave me the ruby back at my girlfriend's place, the place called Cat's Eye, where like two adult women matching vaguely the same build as the thief I'm chasing.
What? It's, oh my god. He truly is the dumbest man in all Japan. But it's fine because it got us a heartwarming... It got us a heartwarming ending for the youngest sister.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we want.
Yeah, I feel
high school
like
romance.
I feel like this chapter was a lesson in, hey, do we want to focus a lot on the high school aspect of this? No? Okay.
Except we have to have the punchline of, like, her boyfriend being like, wow, the cops are so cool recovering the crown jewel. Now I want to be a cop. And she's like, my boyfriend wants to be a cop.
This is all your fault. It's like, yep.
They just laugh at her.
Yep. Anyway, it's time for the least blonde in all Japan.
Yeah.
Wait a second. This is thinking. Never mind.
Yeah, because the next...
You can't testify against your spouse.
You're right. Oh my god, they should just marry all of the police. So yeah, the next chapter is called Japanese Men Prefer Blondes. And there is a blonde character, except how they choose to draw that is by shading in the dark parts of the hair, which is a way to convey being blonde, but unfortunately means the hair has so much shading, it looks dark. And
it doesn't read. It reads as a darker, it's not supposed to be platinum blonde. And it's like, the only reason I knew it was blonde was because the manga told me.
The only thing I can say is Rui supposed to be like lighter haired?
I don't know. It's also possible that she dyes her hair. I mean, she's older. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's not that old.
But I mean, like, they're not triplets, so like they're gonna have their own different styles.
There's like
maybe.
Rui's hair like comes off as being like glossy.
Exactly. So it's shiny. But then the other girl who has equal parts light is because she's blonde. It's just a weird way to convey it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm also looking at like pictures of the anime from this, and Rui has like midnight black hair. So okay then.
Rui, drop the hair care routine. That's what we need to know.
I know what you're thinking. Man, we've been going for a long time, and we haven't shown how Himbo Cop is the dumbest man in Japan. You want to know how we can indicate it one more time? He has to escort a VIP in the arts world from France.
That's what we're calling it.
This is a sexy blonde woman. So
he decides, escort.
For no reason, decides to take her on a date to the Cat's Eye Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
This is fine.
This is fine.
I'm sure my girlfriend won't be at all jealous about this.
Yeah, so I'll take her directly to my girlfriend. Yeah.
I like how I is almost as pissed as Hitomi is.
I has the vibe of, I can't believe you're two-timing my sister right now.
In front of us.
You better get the hell out of here before she sees you, is kind of the vibe I'm getting that she's putting down. Like,
oh, yeah.
I am giving you the chance to get away from this.
Yep. And then he proceeds to not
pick up the hint.
And she's like, I can't believe you're two-timing me. But it's literally for work. Oh, so you're taking up a second job then, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure she does a lot of jobs for you too. No!
Are you implying I'm a juggler? What?
Oh.
That's right, man whore, get out of here. So anyway, they go to rob a place, but before they can finish the robbery, they get interrupted by some people entering the warehouse, so they go to hide. And who should it be but that same weird blonde lady, Miss Rubial, who then tacks on a cat's eye calling card to one of the pieces of warehouse like cargo. What? But we didn't make an announcement. What is she doing? And then two of the goons with her is just like, yeah, sure is a nice plan you got here, Miss Rubial, to go ahead and frame Cat's Eye for the robbery we're about to take. Now I know why they're calling you Lupin's bride. Thank you, exposition man. Yeah,
they do. It is very product of its time, expositing for the sake of the characters and audience in the room. The excuse for them being there is that they're scouting, and they have a justification for why, if they're there, they don't just take the damn thing without anybody knowing. But
they're there because that's where the plot is.
Yeah.
But because they're discount Sly Cooper, despite being like 30 years before Sly Cooper.
They are phantom thieves. Their entire thing is they announce the crimes before they do them.
Yeah, they have to send the calling card first.
I love how they look up this girl and they're like, hold on. The actual modern art personality or whatever is this frumpy looking girl. She's not hot at all. God damn. Then who was that fox that Himbo Cop was with?
Look at this old lady with her closed eyes and like 2 wrinkles.
My God, she's hideous.
she barely slightly has laugh lines.
See, okay, as brain dead stupid as this is, that the police wouldn't do a basic background
check, yeah,
on such an important VIP to be like, wait a minute, you're like 20 years younger than you're supposed to be. I do kind of love the like technological niche that stories like this exist in, where everything's just advanced enough to do like James Bond, but not so advanced
that everybody has smartphones that you could look this up in an attosecond.
Exactly. It exists in that sweet like 90s to early aughts zone, like Goldilocks zone of we have just enough technology for gadgets, but we don't have enough technology for everyone to not, for like misinformation to be infeasible.
I mean, like, yeah, because they would have had to like send for a photo of this woman, and they've got her like passport presumably, so that's all they need. That's clearly been faked. I think it's kind of insane that the girls have an old magazine article she's in, and that's how they find her. But
oh yeah, it's still freaking ridiculous how the girls figure it out. But
which, that being said, if they are like a ritzy, classy art cafe in the museum district, and they've got like a bunch of magazines on art historians, perfect. Like
that would make sense. Yeah.
Like that's what their business is people coming from museums, having a nice coffee in like a nice area. And if they want some reading material, they've got like all the like modern art periodicals.
Exactly.
You could say they're well read.
That they are. So we learn that Lupin's bride has this like grand plan where it's like, okay, all of the art pieces for this international art exhibit are going to be loaded onto a truck. So we're going to pull the old switcheroo where we're going to cause a traffic disturbance so that we can take a hold of the actual truck and drive off unnoticed. And since we blamed Cat's Eye on it, because this is such a well-planned, meticulous heist, no shade will come down.
Because this is so needlessly convoluted and only really works because it's a manga heist.
This also makes zero sense. I do not understand how this works.
Where are we shuffling these cars? Well, it's on a 6-way intersection with no markings or way to indicate whose turn it is to turn.
Good luck, everyone.
It really is like good luck, everyone.
Like I have seen videos of like street crossings in India that look like this. I wouldn't expect this in Tokyo. Like
it makes negative sense.
At least it's not Soliano with 60 miles an hour on a public street.
But thankfully, I is in your walls, and she is listening to all of this, and also recording it on her tape recorder.
I also like how I actually got a cat burglar leotard now.
Yeah.
It's light purple, but
It's better than nothing?
it's
Or
better than
I
the
I
white
just like
statue.
nothing. It leaves nothing to the imagination.
I miss the popped collar, honestly.
Mhm. Pop that color.
Yep. So now our master thieves have to intercept this heist by another master thief designed to look like one of their heists.
They basically just hijack the heist
Yep.
and then do it themselves.
I love how Hitomi follows the fake Henrietta into a room and then presumably slaps her unconscious.
Yep. Hitomi's master move, where she sneaks up behind somebody and brains them so hard that they get Vulcan neck pinched.
Except because she's a woman, she can only slap people. So the silhouette we get is her slapping her. But that knocks her unconscious immediately.
This is the type of fantasy or fictional world where any amount of head trauma just knocks you unconscious with zero repercussion.
Yeah, no long-term effects.
Like
You can't die from that.
I think maybe she's hitting her with something she's holding in her hand off panel, but the problem is that's too far extended.
Yeah, you don't see that.
Yep. So anyway, Rubiel has been knocked out, or not Rubiel, and so Hitomi has taken her place with the blonde wig, and now she's like, "All right, time for the convoy. I'm going to wait in the truck. Miss Rubiel, wouldn't it be safer for you to be in the patrol car with me? This two-timing man whore. He wants her in the car so bad. No, I'm going in the truck." Okay, you're the VIP.
Nothing suspicious here.
I can't believe my unfaithful boyfriend. And meanwhile, Toshia's just like, I'm literally doing my job. Why am I under attack?
Meanwhile, they switched two trucks that look identical somehow.
Mm-hmm.
In broad daylight by causing a fender bender, I think.
It is unclear how this works.
It's not actually broad daylight. It is admittedly nighttime. But,
It's nighttime.
But like a white panel van goes and causes a fender bender with one of the police escort, which somehow allows Hitomi to drive the loot truck off while Rui has taken over the decoy truck and rejoins the convoy?
So, I don't know who needs to be told this. The point of a convoy is that if the car behind you
do that exact thing.
If the car behind you gets separated from you, you stop the convoy. Like,
Yep.
Because the convoy exists to prevent this exact thing.
This is the last thing that is supposed to happen in a fucking convoy.
if any car in the convoy is stopped, you should be on like red alert. Like that is.
Yep.
But it's like, oh, I guess the guy who was keeping our back got separated. I'm not going to call him on the radio, or I guess technically he can't see him because the truck is blocking him. But it's
Can still call him on the radio if you can't see him. That's why radios exist.
Or the other guy should be calling, "Hey, I got blocked." Like,
Yeah.
Or it's so dumb.
It's dumb.
So the girls make off with all of the art, and the bait truck is taken to the pier where Rubiel is knocked out in the back with a tape recorder of her heist plan where she's like, yes, so I, Lupin's bride, will perfectly mimic a cat's eye theft in order to take all of these things. And so Toshio wins by doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he just turns in the cat's eye evidence, which debatable if that's the best idea, but you know.
Hey Toshio, like my new blonde do? Whoa, he told me. Ha, it's just a wig.
Oh, I was kind of into that blonde look. You really am just less attracted to you now. Also, everything you've been doing in our relationship prior is really kind of wearing on me. Well, moving on.
Yep. Anyway,
Don't worry, it'll reset next chapter.
I'm an ideal model police officer who would never break traffic laws. But I really hate being in a traffic jam. Good thing I know Tokyo like the back of my hand. I'm going to drive through a bunch of alleyways.
Seriously, like,
Time to speed through a bunch of alleyways.
and then he gets he just gets T-boned. Like,
Yep, he gets T-boned.
he gets
But-
T-boned by Yoko Ono.
Every single traffic accident in this manga is a cosmetic damage fender bender. Their inertia is not real.
Well, Sam, you got to remember this was the 70s. Cars were stronger back then.
They were stronger by not having any crumple zones, which just killed more people. You know what? Never mind.
Well, anyway, now Toshio's getting a ticket because the person he fender bendered was another cop. I sure wonder if this will be a character.
Kind of.
Kind of. Technically. She's a character for a couple of chapters.
She sure is something, yes. So this is
What is the best way to summarize this chapter is really the question here.
Okay, so for this chapter specifically, new straight-laced cop comes in and is trying to do Toshio's job better than he, and that creates tension. That's
Mitsuko Asatani, a policewoman, but women can't do this job.
The setup is women can't be police officers, except she is hyper competent. And I know what you're thinking, dear reader. My God, a hyper competent police officer does not belong in this world. Because someone would immediately notice, it sure is weird that the head of the Cat's Eye investigation is constantly going to a cafe called Cat's Eye, where it is staffed by 2, potentially 3 women who match the description that we know is Cat's Eye.
Investigator of the Year. Give this man an award.
Because she literally shows up at the diner. Or the cafe.
And is immediately like, well, I see what's going on here.
This is obviously the thing. Also, this chapter begins a little thing I love that is just Toshio is apparently sometimes drawn just like mid-stride, and it's just always a completely silly pose.
He's so goofy.
He's just a little silly walking man.
He's taken a big steppy and he does not exist on this plane. He is superimposed like a goddamn Photoshop
He is
asset.
taking such a long step that he is losing like 2 feet of height. Like,
Yep. Man, I can't believe that a woman is doing a policeman's job. I hate women in men's work. This is ridiculous. Yes, that's fine, honey. Now, why did you spill coffee on yourself? You know that burns, right? Ow, coffee hot. Thank you, he told me. Just my boo-boo. Listen, I don't mind... I don't mind sexism to make him look buffoonish in comparison. That's fine. It's the fact that... The thing that grates me about Asatani is that she then somehow immediately falls into his himbo, like, sex gravity well. But we'll get to that.
That thankfully doesn't happen in this chapter.
It doesn't happen in this chapter. See, I really liked this chapter. But in retrospect...
Yeah, this version of Asatani is a character I kind of wish stuck around. Because she doesn't.
Asatani shows up. She's straight-laced. She's trying to investigate him. And the whole thing is, Hitomi is jealous of her because she's his work wife.
Yeah.
Even when she's like, hey, your car's all dinged up. Yeah, some lady cop did that. A lady touched your car? It's like, Hitomi, you're really picking up the wrong thing here.
Banged your frame hard?
Well... I feel threatened. I'm going to smother you in my perfume.
That's really nice, dear. Anyway, yeah, Asatani, what's your frickin' problem? Your woman's intuition? Why does your sleeve smell like the exact same perfume that was on the Cat's Eye calling card? What?
Himbo does not recognize perfume. 100%.
Himbo does not recognize perfume, but this is the part that made me throw up my hands and go, are these people not professionals?
No.
Hitomi, why did you wear your signature perfume so thick that it got on the calling card?
I'm just saying the only distinction between professional is that you get paid. Okay.
Well, that's my favorite part, is that these calling cards are clearly being scent marked with perfume, and no one thought Cat's Eye was a woman. Like,
Yeah, because I was gonna, when you're like, are you not a professional? My immediate thought was, no, none of the cops except for Asatani in this chapter are professionals. But no, you're right. Literally nobody is a professional.
Just collecting a paycheck.
We'll get to it later, but I love how the manga tries to explain away the amateur hours that are happening on the part of Cat's Eye. But we'll get to it.
I love when Asatani goes to the cafe on her own to investigate, and she's there doing like the serious detective stick, and Hitomi's just like, so you're Toshio's work girlfriend? I hate you so much. It's just like, she's just getting like weirdly defensive of her territory over this person who's trying to trap her for being a phantom thief.
I wouldn't exactly call him my boyfriend. He's kind of a buffoon.
You've been dating since high school. He is your boyfriend. You've called him that.
It really is a pity, because there's actually I mean, like, it's so early in a long-running manga, you know that they're not going to get caught here, but there's like a level of tension of like, how are they going to get out of this? And I liked that. Asatani is really good at like basically building stakes for that, because like, you know, like, they're phantom thieves, so like there's a level of, it's like they're never going to get caught, it's just going to be wacky adventures and heists. But there's a level of like, Asatani is actually competent enough to like properly investigate them. I don't know. It has a little, like, she feels like a Death Note character. Basically.
It's the cat and mouse game you're expecting in this that just isn't there.
Yeah.
What we get is something else entirely. Yep. I do like, I'll just bring this up quickly in this whole like back and forth. We find out that the name of the signature perfume is the Night Flight, otherwise known as a perfume made for cat burglars.
Uh-huh.
My mother loved that scent, and I was named after it.
So that's why you're Hitomi, Sure.
Only mention of the mother that we're going to get.
Well, that's not true entirely, but not in a way that's satisfying.
And I freaking love how freaking cop man Toshio. I love how Toshio, since he's fighting with his girlfriend and his work wife, he's in just such a rotten mood while he's at the stakeout.
I feel bad calling her his work wife, because that happens later. Right now, she's literally the inspector from a different precinct who has come in to figure out why no one solved this case yet.
She's literally just a coworker. And everybody's making a bigger deal out of it than she is. Which
Hitomi, you're acting like you're still in high school about your high school boyfriend.
But no, okay. Here's the thing that drives me up a wall, because again, I like this chapter in a bubble, in a bottle, because it's you know, this is a canon action flick. This is Carmen Sandiego. It's this sort of like frivolous thing where suddenly a like deadly serious character shows up. So the fact that everybody, police and thieves, are acting like a bunch of high school idiots is now heavily contrasted with how much Asatani is like with it. And then Asatani just
stops being that character.
She catches the idiot ball, and she's just like the rest of them.
Because like what ends up happening is it's one of those ones where it's like, I simultaneously love this, and it's also stupid, but that makes me love it more. They use because it's like they've got to throw suspicion off of themselves where Asatani is concerned. Now, personally, I am of the opinion that it would have been having Asatani stay this competent and stay suspicious of them, and potentially even possibly go after Toshio as being like a willing and knowing collaborator of Cat's Eye. Like, that could create some real interesting tension.
Yeah.
But they have to throw suspicion off so that they don't get immediately caught, and they use a tape recorder. And the really cool part is Asatani's immediately like, sounds like a tape recorder. I don't believe this. She opens the door, and it's like
It's even dumber.
It's-
That's the problem.
Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, there's no way this would work. That's a clever, fancy thing.
It's like, oh, I dressed up 2 mannequins like my sisters, and she only had the door open for slightly long enough, and that was enough time. But it's not really convincing. And
it's like having, I mean, not for nothing, if Asatani stayed suspicious of them where it's like, I didn't actually like see them clearly, those could have been mannequins, and it sounded like a tape, like having her think like it sounded more like a tape recorder after I was inside the door, that convinced me in the moment, but this makes me even more suspicious of them now to maintain that dynamic without them getting immediately caught. Like, that would have worked. That's not what happens, by the way, as you can probably guess.
Yeah. Just to back up a little bit, I do like the scene where she confronts Toshio on this, going like, hey, your girlfriend's wearing the exact same perfume as Cat's Eye. She works for a cafe called Cat's Eye. There's just so many things pointing out that she or her sister, or maybe both of them working together, are this phantom thief. I really need you to just be a professional and deal with this. And Toshio, to his credit to a degree, loves her so much, he is completely blind to the fact that it could be her. And he's taking at her word. He's like, no, she's not. She wouldn't do that. She wouldn't lie to me. And she's like, you're being really dumb. Every single piece of evidence points at it. It's like, just because evidence says that, you say that's going to be true? Yes, exactly like that. I'm going to hit a woman. Like,
yeah.
It's a 1980s manga. And I was fully prepared for him to slap her.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't happen.
He doesn't, though. Yeah,
What?
honestly, I mean, because it's a product of its time and you expect that to happen, I think you can give him credit for not doing it because it is the right thing to do.
I think Jay and I have a favorite quote from if you've ever watched Columbo. The one of the early episodes in that has the lead detective and hero just talking with the villain of that episode, and he's just pointing out that the woman had like a ring mark on her face, and he's just like, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't hit a woman like this with your fist. You'd hit her like this. And then does a slapping motion, and that's the full conversation. Like, obviously, you don't close your hand when you hit a woman. You hit the back of your hand.
And he said that with his chest, yes.
And I'm like,
absolutely not.
This is the hero of the show, and I'm just like, you wouldn't hit a woman like. So that comes up a lot. It's like, you wouldn't hit a woman like that. You'd hit her like this.
Obviously.
Obviously.
And I'll take that to court.
Yeah, but yeah, so as we establish, she goes to them to stake them out. There's a whole back and forth where Toshio is just like, why aren't you doing your job? You're just taking time off to have a coffee. And I'm like, to be fair, Asatani really should have got this approved by the chief before you just went ahead and do this. You look really bad. Like,
yeah.
I think that's kind of where she gets away from this, is like she's following her hunch in direct opposition to a chain of command, and she's right, and we as readers know she's right, but that is her.
From the logic of a canon action flick, she's the hero.
Yeah.
She's the loose cannon cop on the edge, going after this crazy opportunity to bust this case wide open.
Yep.
Anyway, who wants to adopt some stray cats? Remember to spay and neuter your pets. This
chapter is really dumb.
This is the best chapter.
I love
Easily.
this chapter purely because I'm a cat person, but from a story perspective, it is stupid and useless, and I hate it.
There is a single panel that makes this the best chapter.
I could not tell you what the plot of this is. I can't remember.
It's Asatani continuing her thread of going after the Cat's Eye Cafe, thinking that they're actually Cat's Eye the thief. But she's like getting way more soon about Toshio.
Yeah, this is where we start getting into that nonsense.
They're fighting so much that it's exciting passions. That's it.
Yeah. So she starts chain smoking.
That's really the problem I have, is that Toshio and Asatani are just so much more compatible than it's the problem. Like, it would really be better if he just, dated a coworker. Because she's not even like a direct coworker. She's from like a police office out of town. So it's like they work in different departments. They just have the same job, you know?
Yeah.
They have a lot in common. She's not constantly saying that their relationship's invalid and denying proposals.
Meanwhile, Hitomi's getting hit on by some weirdos at the bar.
Yeah, I guess that does happen, doesn't it?
It sure does. And then
A
Toshio
waitress
comes
at a coffee shop. I'm sure she gets hit on a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
So Toshio comes in and is just like, hey, Asatani, why are you here in this coffee shop? Can I get coffee on my break? You're going after Cat's Eye Cafe thinking they're Cat's Eye the Thief again, aren't you? I told you to drop this line. You're going after the love of my life. You need to piss off. Uh-huh. Anyway, watch as I do this cool flashback where I judo flip this fence.
Because she's trying to find out, like, hey, every art fence I know, I'm going to beat the crap out of and ask, do you sell things for women? And I guess this is kind of what you were alluding to a little bit earlier, Jacob. It's just like, hey, maybe they're not selling anything because she can't find any evidence that they're fencing these goods.
Yeah. This is
Which is
one
dumb.
of
It is
Well,
dumb that they're not selling anything.
Yeah. Okay. So I might as well just say the breadth of it because talking around it so that we're talking about it when it comes up in the manga isn't really the easiest way to explain this. They're stealing stuff that their father had made.
They have a personal connection.
Ostensibly, it like ostensibly, but like their father didn't paint the crown jewels. Is the thing.
So it's like gem thefts.
So it's like any of the gem thefts don't make sense for what we find out later. So they have to be stealing some just we're stealing things because we're thieves stuff and selling that, right? Like I feel like the premise was maybe not completely decided upon before it started.
It feels like Pilot Cat's Eye are just phantom thieves who are stealing high value things. And using it to fund their very luxe life. Because that cafe can't be making money. It is way too fancy. It is like prime architecture for the time in what appears to be the center of downtown.
Like a nice area.
So
it's like they
literally the only link to the overarching plot, massive air quotes, is when Toshio goes, huh, lady in that painting sure looks like Hitomi. Anyway,
oh my god. When we get to that chapter, that's a whole new, this is the dumbest man in Japan.
He really freaking is.
So there's a whole through line here with cats. Do we want to? I don't really know what's going on.
I got caught in the rain. She ran back home. She sneezed because she caught a cold in the rain. Dropped her bag.
Cat explosion.
Cat explosion.
Best chapter ever.
So many cats.
So many cats. Look at them go.
They're incredibly cute.
I love them. It's an explosion of cats.
Can we
keep going to this coffee shop?
They've literally become a cat cafe.
I forgot. This is also the chapter we see Toshio's apartment, which is hilariously heavy. Like, he's a head detective, and he has, like, the same apartment you see, like, broke college students in anime have.
Yeah, the same apartment I had 3 years ago.
I guess maybe it's like he doesn't need a lot of space. Maybe is the vibe they're going for, but
yeah, you see, he's standing there just making dinner in his kitchenette, which is also the laundry room, which is also the coffee pot, which is also the umbrella stand.
Yeah.
Which is also the foyer because that's where the door is.
Yeah, and then unfortunately his coworker comes over to deliver him some pussy, but
Here, have a kitten. By the way, you look hot in that apron, femboy. Anyway, I'm out.
Hey, you cooking enough food for two in there? Nope. Okay, we're not going in that direction with this.
Why did she call me a femboy?
I'm just saying, gotta shoot your shot.
I love that he was given a cat that never appears again.
This whole chapter about adopting cats, nothing comes of it.
I mean, they had to make the reference. I was waiting for it because honestly,
it's a chapter that has a bunch of cats in it. It's the best chapter.
There is a cat that shows up as a pet for the sisters in chapter 1 and is never mentioned again.
Cat's dead.
That cat is dead.
They gotta stop killing these cats.
No, but
anyway,
I love them.
Who's ready for Sly Cooper at home?
Yes.
Oh, you mean
honestly, even that moniker is like an insult. Like,
I love how this guy that it gets introduced in the next chapter is literally just Lupin the Third, which I
Yeah.
think is the point.
yeah,
Like,
he is. You're right.
Bro,
Because
bro
the
drops
failed
in-
womanizer and buffoonishness, yet still competent. Yeah, he's Lupin.
He is. But, like, literally the first panel that he's on, he looks like a demon. He's posed up like he's a Yu Yu Hakusho character about to hit somebody with the instant kill move. And then
You know what? I appreciate the reference. Yes.
from that point forward, he's, hey!
Look at my wacky jawline.
oh man.
Man, Toshio, so you really became a cop, huh? Yeah, it's me, your old friend Kamiya, the guy who disappeared from Japan for an entire year. Ironically, same time that famous jewel thief Mouse disappeared. Hey,
Hey, my kind of close best male friend. Well, you better hang out with me in the Cat's Eye Cafe so that all the people I love in my life can be surrounding me and will never betray me or my profession.
Wow, Toshi, that sure is crazy that I showed up right after Mouse made his latest theft again. Hell of a story, because I'm a journalist. By the way, hey, ladies, all of you are super hot. I'm gonna really creep on you.
Oh yeah, he is not ashamed at all. And at one point, he has an eye, and my mind goes to a very dark place, and I'm like, whoa.
They backtrack on that really quickly. They backtrack on him creeping on Eye pretty quickly.
I don't think he hits on Eye.
Well, he makes a wager or something, and then
Yeah, they set it up.
He makes a wager with her where it's like, who's gonna win the next heist, Mouse or Cat's Eye? Why are you so invested in this? Why are you so invested in this? Anyway, and then you like whispers it in her ear, and she's super embarrassed. So like the reader thinks it's like, well, if Mouse wins, I get to take you on a date, high school girl. But then like when he inevitably wins the next heist, it's revealed, sorry, Hitomi, because he won the bet. I gotta set you and him up on a date.
Yeah, I guess my reading, I never really got that he was romantically interested in Eye. He was just kind of messing with her because she's very combative. Like
I agree with that assessment. Like it's setting up like it's gonna go.
It's going for the tropey thing, which is why I was sort of like bamboozled by it.
It averts it fast enough. I wasn't really worried, but that's what it's going for.
Eye is 14.
He becomes problematic for a different reason later on. Man cannot keep his hands off butts.
And butts are pretty great.
They sure are. I do like big butts, and I cannot lie. Anyway, I just said the entire rest of this chapter.
You're really like a man in the desert in this manga, then.
No, see, they've got like
they've got flat butts. They've got yoga.
They have human proportions.
They've got 80s big butts where it's like everybody is on cocaine.
Yes.
So we're all rail thin, but we're all super athletic. So our glutes are actually massive.
Yes. So
they need to go to Brazil.
We've got like medium-sized butts on a regular person, but it's super muscular.
No, if they have medium-sized butts, they're whales.
Yeah. Look. They'll have to do a heist in Brazil. They'll come back with BBCs. Nope.
No. Yes. I love it. I think you mean Thailand, right? We're coming back with BBCs.
BBLs. God damn it.
This is setting up a rivalry between Cat's Eye and Mouse, which incidentally doesn't really go anywhere now that I think about it.
Not really. They have a cute little back and forth doing cat and mouse. Haha, it's a pun. And then it kind of fizzles out pretty quickly.
It lasts exactly long enough for this chapter to end with, why do none of these burglars wear masks? Oh.
You're dealing with an incompetent police force. There's no need, okay?
Yeah, because Mouse goes and he steals some more jewels, and he's like, haha, now for my incredible getaway across this rooftop. Wow, Mouse, that sure is impressive. Huh, Cat's Eye, I knew it was you. Hitomi? Whoa. Kamiya? Wait, why did none of us wear masks?
It's also weird because their conversation earlier in the cafe, I thought they were coyly referencing that they both knew the other was that person.
Nope. Yeah, I thought that too, but nope, no idea.
Like they're just so aggressively unsubtle about their secret identities. Their secret identities are as hidden as their heist attire.
No, but the way I'm gonna get a one-up on him is when he shows up at the cafe the next day and tries to slap my ass, I'm gonna put a serving tray in the way so he breaks his knuckles.
How hard was he going to slap your... You know what? We're not gonna...
It's like I said, that ass is all glute muscle, so you gotta really give it a good thwack to get the jiggle.
So on this episode of the Overmanga Cast...
Yeah, we really went off the rails here.
I think this is a good time for a break because the plot is sort of about to happen.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to take away is I'm almost certain Mouse is just a Lupin the Third reference, and the entire rivalry is like, hey, we made a cat burglar manga too, and wouldn't it be cool if they faced each other? And he lasts just long enough to be like, yeah, that's what this would be like, you know?
Yeah, it's very tropey. It's well executed. Gets the job done.
We'll find out more coming up after this break. And welcome back to the show, folks, where last we left our Phantom Thieves? Sure, I guess that's what they still are. Shenanigans happen, who gives a fuck? The point being, we actually start this next chapter in medias res, where Hitomi is on a solo mission. She's got her black leotard. She's got a scarf wrapped around her waist. She's got a painting under her arm, and she's running from the police across this pier. And she's cornered at the top of this building. And
I'm sure you're wondering how I got here.
Yep. I feel like the bars subdividing her close up, it could be like the slats of a window blind or bullet shots, and I'm not entirely sure what the manga's going for.
I think
both feel more noir than what it's actually doing.
I think it's supposed to be like radial symmetry of its screen wiping.
Yeah.
So to indicate that is a flashback into the past, it's wiping.
Yeah, because she's pressed up against a wall near a window, looking at the cops closing in on her.
And it is, in fact, I bet you're wondering how I got here, because
this is the part where they start introducing the plot proper.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
This is where they start introducing it. Yes. They will exposition it in detail later.
This is also where we get the biggest detail that Toshio is the stupidest man in Japan.
Yeah.
That's what the ladies love. I love them dumb.
This is so
dumb himbos.
This man shouldn't be in charge
of
anything. He shouldn't be in charge of anything.
So I believe this man literally failed up and is easy on the eyes, and that's all you need.
That damn pretty privilege.
Be attractive. Don't be unattractive.
It's not super clear how hot he is until you get to the beach cover, which I believe is next chapter. But it's him shirtless at the beach, and he's flexing, and he is buff. And it's even got Hitomi off screen going like, "Oh, geez, if only you'd worked out your brain instead of all those muscles." So this guy hits the gym constantly.
He does, because like every other 80s action hero in downtown Tokyo, he's so hyped up on cocaine that he needs to constantly pump his action somewhere, and if he can't pump his action into a lady, he's got to pump iron at the gym.
He also needs a protein load, which is why we never see that pet cat again.
No.
Anyway, it's here where we kind of get the the philosophical divide between Mouse and Cat's Eye, because Mouse is like, huh, yeah, this art exhibit, total payday. We're going to be able to steal all these paintings, make a ton of money. We're going to
Divide the loot.
Divide the loot. We're going to live like kings. At which point, Hitomi slaps his hand and in an offended voice screams, "You hyena! How dare you!" What? I thought we were all like base material thieves here or something. Do you have no respect for the art? No! Other than what people will pay for it. What's your problem, woman?
And it knocks the plot relevant photo off of the pile so that Hitomi can see it.
Whoa, this portrait. This is by some unknown painter. It's got no value at all. Wait a minute, why does the picture kind of look like you?
If it has no value at all, why is it being shipped to America? Shut up. I also like how he's just like, who could this possibly be? This kind of looks like you. But if he'd looked at the title of the painting, it's literally called like My Daughter Hitomi or something.
Yeah, the fact that, okay, so is it in the frame we see it at the end when Hitomi is actually stealing it? That is the only way that this could possibly be justified, was that the title of the painting was not on the frame it was originally like displayed with. But man, I like the way that this
like
manga is, I
it
could
looks
give
like
it the
it's
benefit of the
written
doubt.
on the frame of the painting, but she does steal the frame of the painting, so
yeah. So the thing is, did she put it in a new frame? That's the only way that the people in this manga are so unfathomably stupid, but they are that dumb. So I don't think that's what happened.
But Jacob, that opens up the window for something even stupider, which means she put it in a frame that says My Daughter Hitomi because
nobody's professionals in this.
Because
the cops are the Phantom Thieves.
She doesn't recognize herself. She needs to label it.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. But anyway, we find out that her sister is also against it because it's like, this is too last minute. She's like, but that's my painting. It's the only thing I have left of Dad. He painted it of me.
No, we can't go after these paintings for sentimental purposes. Isn't that the entire reason behind our like art theft?
We haven't revealed that yet, sister.
Fine, I'm gonna go do it myself.
In fleshing out this plan, they have, well, except for Hitomi, have essentially said, okay, they're going on display, but we'll be coming back. So, obviously we'll get them once they come back to the country,
I can't wait 6 months. I'm doing it now.
Doing it now!
It's also kind of funny that this is really spurred on by her walking by a newscaster who's talking about like, and the paintings will be going to America tomorrow. Looks like Cat's Eye's a bunch of crying babies who aren't able to do anything about stealing it. Wait a second.
No, my honor as a thief and my filial devotion to my father. I can't let both be impugned in one action.
Wait, she's a pony?
Not that kind of shut the fuck up, we're moving on. Anyway, that's how we got to where we were. Also, it's very critically plot-relevant, life-savingly important that Toshio found a box full of bras.
This is a plot point, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is this box open?
You're right, it is open. I was gonna say, it's already open.
Because I thought she had hidden under the bras, knowing he's too bashful to like deal with it, so she's taking advantage of that.
But no, she is not in there.
He literally just was like, better make sure Cat's Eye isn't in this box. Wow, it's full of ladies' underwear. What's that? Cat's Eye has been spotted elsewhere. I must go. At which point he told me, he's like, I have been trapped atop this building. There is no way out for me. I have found the painting that my father made of me. This is the most critical moment in my life. I have found fulfillment. Father, I await you in heaven. I will now leap into the ocean. Oh, God.
I do like
that. This box of bras.
I like that she doesn't actually like have the full onus on her to jump until she hears Toshio, and the final thing that pushes to like, I guess I'm okay dying here is like, I can't let him know I'm the thief.
Well, yeah, obviously, because she's just using him.
Yeah. But that being said, they open the door and see her in full view from behind, which indicates Toshio has no idea what his girlfriend looks like from behind.
I know, raising so many questions.
Like,
I guess he's not into that.
I guess not.
no, missionary only.
Eye contact.
Prolonged eye contact. But yes, she falls into the box of bras. Ha ha ha! It is actually pretty funny.
It is funny because boobies go in there.
All I could think of would bras break your fall, or would you get stabbed by the underwire at some point? Like,
Mm.
Yeah, because these are 70s bras.
these are brassiers.
Mm-mm. Yes.
Got that good whale bone.
No.
But it turns out that the sisters showed up to save her because they knew. And Jacob, you'll be happy. I brought back the popped collar, so she is not.
Yay!
Which weirdly, this outfit looks like she's wearing her leotard from like the chest down. She just has the tracksuit worn atop the collar as if it was a separate article of clothing.
Yeah, like she's got the leotard, but she adds a collar top on top of it. Honestly, I'm here for it.
That honestly looks like they drew her in the leotard, realized they don't want her having her shoulder and chest exposed, and we're just like, yeah, let's give her a collar. Let's just make it flesh tone. It's fine.
Yeah, and they lock all the cops on the roof. So
yeah, and all the cops are just like, who locked this door? And Rui has some fun older sister moments and going like, oh no, you're gonna fall in the water. Oh, and it's like,
Whoa,
oh no, we joked around too much. You actually,
it looks like Rui doesn't try that hard to save her, and I think that's kind of her going like, you did cause us to come out here, like that kind of deal.
Yeah.
That one at least has the energy of, all right, I saved you from the life-threatening danger. Now, as your older sister, it is my rightful duty to punish you by humiliating you for being such a frickin' moron into the ocean with you, wench.
Yeah, I think the idea is had she not been saved, she would have hit the concrete that the building is attached to, and because of the shenanigans happening, she fell into the ocean instead.
Yeah.
So instead of getting a terrible case of dead, she got a cold.
Because this is, again, the 70s. Hitting water immediately makes you just ill instead of any of the other things that hitting water can do to you.
Also, I know we've said this several times. This manga came out in 1981. We're aware it's early 80s.
Yeah. Early 80s, late 70s, it's the same.
It's the 70s vibe.
Yeah. Anyway, it's Hitomi's birthday.
Yay!
Which is just so sad. This woman has no friends.
It's her sisters, her boyfriend who's too busy to buy her anything, her weird, creepy molester who showed up with roses.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to cash in on this, which is why, again, in this particular scene, I was confused if Hitomi and Toshio were still together? ?
Yeah, because what Hitomi is doing in this scene is Toshio did not get me a present, so I am like picking up on his advantages.
Yeah.
Like she's just like, ooh, I'll let Mouse flirt with me.
I mean, we're in the same line of work. He's hot.
I like the competition because it might prompt Toshio to be better. It's kind of the vibe that's going on here.
Oh yeah. She's actually using Mouse.
Which is kind of the vibe I got from her and Mouse earlier on, is she's just like, he's kind of a dick, but same line of work.
What's networking with a coworker? You know?
They're like vaguely work friends.
Yeah.
I guess kind of, yeah. Yeah, so Asatani shows up at the birthday party because there's apparently only one detective in this entire town, because the person in charge of art burglaries is also the person who needs to talk bombers down.
Yeah, well, no, you see, Matt, it makes perfect sense because this bomber was attacking an art gallery.
Nope. At that point, Toshio had already left. It was what prompts the girls to go investigate is that he's going to bomb the art gallery.
Crap, you're right.
he is being charged of this investigation because he is the person in charge of
yeah. He's told it's that tall building. He's on the 10th floor. He doesn't get told that it's the gallery until he actually gets there.
It's that tall building, the one you can see directly from this cafe. Whoa, I wonder if that'll come up later.
What was that?
That's what every character says in a 70s anime. My brother is Racer X.
Dogs.
Racer X, why are you in Brazil? Aha, Speed, you don't understand. I got a BBL.
Missed that episode.
The Mach 5 doesn't have gear for that.
The Mach 5 doesn't have a big enough passenger seat.
Oh,
we do know it has a big enough trunk because that little boy in the chimper always back there.
Yes, dear listeners, Speed Racer is still haunting us weeks later.
It will never flee.
The point being, Bucktooth Bomberman.
Yeah, the way they did his teeth, they did him really dirty. And I don't know if they're trying to do like a specific stereotype or racial stereotype in Japan. I don't know.
Oh, if he's like a Chinese bomber?
I don't know.
A lot of people, when they're in a moment of buffoonery, have the same like buck teeth thing going on.
But that's what I mean. There's also they tend to characterize that specifically for like Chinese characters in certain.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think my vibe here is that the mangaka had drawn gag manga before, because it seems like a lot of times when he's trying to do a background character, it defaults to like one of those just like silly faced people.
Yeah,
in gag manga a lot.
But this guy's like, all right, coppers, if you don't give me like 200 million yen and an escape chopper, I'm not leaving. Crap, I've also been doing this hostage situation for like 14 hours. I'm also really hungry, so send me a sandwich and make a lady cop bring it.
Why?
Yeah, that never gets explained. There's basically two options, and I don't like.
It's the 80s. I'm vaguely sexist.
The implication is he feels like a man might be able to overpower him, but a lady cop on her own is clearly the indication there.
Yeah,
because he doesn't like say like send me up a sexy lady cop. It's like,
yeah,
I can overpower a woman if it's. Presumably you shouldn't do that because I'll just blow up the building. But like,
Toshio, noble knight, air quotes.
Asatani's there going like, I am a no-nonsense policewoman. He asked for a policewoman, I will go do it. No, I can't let a lady put herself in harm's way. This is men's work. Quick, give me a skirt.
You know, and it's great because this is the exact kind of thing that Asatani would be perfect for if it was her introduction chapter.
Do you like Final Fantasy VII?
Yes. Next question.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I love how Toshio gets fully dressed up like a woman who do nothing with it.
I know. He's like, oh my gosh, this is just the awful having to move in this garb. And I'm like, why?
He's in like full pencil skirt pantsuit.
I'm just saying, while he's saying this, I get the impression from the dialogue, he did not like try to change his voice in any way. He probably fully sounds like a dude.
Yeah.
Fully in this garb.
Where?
Does nothing with the character. It falls flat.
Where did they get women's flats in his size?
Who knows?
Who knows? They didn't get them from Amazon.
He's in like full pencil skirt and pantsuit. And the most they do with it are his like male squad mates being like, whoa! In a woman's outfit, you're really hot, Toshio. I'd slap your ass.
Because
he's androgynous. I guess
this gets intercut with Cat's Eye coming in and actually talking to the burglar, but I just want to follow Toshio's plot for a little bit because he literally dresses up like a woman to go
Gets knocked out.
to go into the building and not bring the sandwich. And then when he's in the building, immediately pulls his gun out on the robber. So there was no point in him disguising himself.
Listen, sometimes you just want to feel pretty.
Like it's just like, I need a lady cop to do this. It's like, well, hold on. Why?
No judgment here on the Over Manga cast.
He just wanted to dress like a woman, and that's fine, but
We judge asking why.
Meanwhile, Hitomi can't go on this mission because he can't work on your birthday. So Rui and I have to do it. And this is the only other mention of Ai's fear of heights. And she then proceeds to not do anything either. Like, she could have just not been here.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why she's here.
The implication is that she makes the gadget that Rui uses, but like, she could have made the gadget and not been on the wall.
having read this chapter, I'm not really sure what Cat's Eye does here.
At some point, vaguely in the background, Ai becomes the gadgeteer genius.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is actually, I think, the first case where that's like a thing, and it, like, they lean into it from here because, like, why is Ai there? Why did they tell Ai about any of this?
Quick, we have 3 main characters. We better have them do different things.
Basically. Yeah, and what Cat's Eye does is they give him a gadget and threaten to blow him up if he doesn't wait patiently for the cops, but it's a fake bomb. It's a goofy plot, like, just standard plot for this kind of story.
But it's okay, because he saved the place while dressed as a woman. Toshio is given one wish from the manager of this office building, and he only has one request. He wants every single light switch switched on to spell I love Hitomi. And this is 1981. So that man had to go through every floor individually, turning on those lights, all held at gunpoint by Toshio.
Wait, hold on. We're going for the kanji for Hitomi, so that means I need to go to room 7 on floor 13, and then... Dude, you can't really explain it to... You will do it.
Also, you better draw a fucking heart. Why?
Okay. All right, I'm calling in some workers. Yeah, no, we don't have overtime benefits. Those don't exist yet. Get in here.
No, don't use other people. You're gonna do it.
2 more lines of Coke.
More Coke, more Coke.
That's what I remember.
Yep.
This is Tokyo, not Miami. I don't know why I'm so insistent on the Coke.
Tokyo Vice.
This isn't Vinland Saga.
I'm not sorry.
Oh my god.
Anyway, once more, Toshino is in a bad way. He's so in the shit with the higher ups at the police force that he's gone and gotten himself piss drunk and stumbled into the cafe like, yep, they're gonna promote me. They're gonna promote you? Wow, that's great. Yep, to a little village in the middle of nowhere where I'll still be a constable. Toshio, that sounds like a demotion. That's the word, demotion. I'm gonna get demoted because I can't catch Cat's Eye.
Well, I'm just gonna punch the spy gadget that looks like it'd be really cool for cat burglars to have. Oh my god, it's a smoke bomb!
Ah! Why did you leave that there? Because I'm the gadgeteer genius, but I'm also like the tinkerer who never gets anything right until it's plot relevant.
This chapter is too full for you. I'm gonna need you to go back, put on your April O'Neil cosplay, and do whatever it was you're doing off screen.
But my smoke bombs will make them plot relevant. Shut up.
And at this point, Asatani has fully devolved into work wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight up to the point where, like, Toshio walks in like, damn, I've got a hangover from getting pissed drunk last night. Anyway, Asatani, what's this about Cat's Eye calling about this theft in this one manor. Yeah, it's this one guy, this big financial and political bigwig named Shiguchi. Anyway, here's some coffee. Wow, that's great. You know what? I'm gonna go get some coffee at the Cat's Eye Cafe and think about this plot. Aww.
So bad for her. That was just like, hey, I heard you were feeling not too good. I got you a nice cup of coffee. Does that make you happy? Man, I could really go for some coffee made by like some kind of hot later.
It's like thoughtlessly cruel, and I hate it. But, but yeah, they go.
I mean, the manga also walked away from Asatani having a character, so that I feel fits. Yeah, that actually happens a bit later.
Yeah, I forgot that this main villain is used in 2 chapters.
But yeah, that honestly, that's Asatani's account because she's no longer the competent one. So
yeah.
They kind of play her as competent when she's like walking through this spoiler alert, Yakuza boss's mansion.
The fact that he's in this like big, elaborate, like French style manner, yet he's wearing a traditional Japanese outfit. It's like, yeah, no, he's a Yakuza.
Or maybe he just likes traditional Japanese fare.
Then why would he buy a French style house in Japan?
It's just very nice.
Yeah.
He likes nice things. That doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
So anyway, the Yakuza boss has the stolen painting.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Copper. I've got no painting called Tear Girl here, so I want you to get out of here before I go and make some calls to the higher-ups. Okay, I don't know why the Phantom Thief went and called out your place specifically then, but have a good night, sir.
Hey, minion, did you move the stolen painting? Yes, I moved the stolen painting. Good.
The serum is working.
Minion, I need you to find those phantom thieves who are casing us. Yeah, boss, I got you. I want you to lift up the youngest one in a way that makes no sense. I mean, grab her by the top of her head and then like halfway down her like shin. I don't, boss, I don't understand. I don't feel like I'm supporting her weight in any way. How is this lifting her? No, you need to do that. Boss!
It's fine. It's fine. We're totally like 100% like skilled phantom thieves who leave no traces of evidence. That's why we got into a 3v1 brawl with this 12-foot man, broke a booze bottle over his head, and ripped a light fixture out of the fucking ceiling to finally KO him.
Also, a light fixture that was on when they have no masks. The instant that guy wakes up, he'll be easily able to identify them.
He's not going to tell anybody that he was beaten up by women.
Fair point.
He saw all 3 of our faces, and I screamed Rui's name while I was pulling that chandelier down. Nobody will ever find us.
Is he dead? No, he's just fainted.
Right, because head trauma isn't real.
I think that's Hitomi just lying to hide. Did we just murder him? No, honey, no. Rui's just gonna stay behind for a little bit.
Why does she have all that lime and those bone saws?
New head cannon. Head trauma cannon, if you will. So they find the secret room.
Yeah.
Yes, a secret room.
Secret tunnel.
It's a Resident Evil puzzle. Resident Evil level 1 puzzle. Wow, why is this bookshelf in the middle of the wall instead of on one of the corners? Wow, we pulled out a book and a secret room appeared.
No. It's even more Resident Evil than that because a tiki idol.
Yeah, it's a freaking tiki torch.
Mm-hmm.
A hidden room. It's got all the paintings in it. But how are we going to get the police in here so that my boyfriend saves face and we still get what we want? I know. Give us your failed flashbangs. You mean the flashbangs that were supposed to flash and bang, but instead are just smoke bombs? I don't know why we consider this to be a failed thieving tool, but yeah, give us all of them.
No, it's worse than that. They're supposed to smoke. They just don't flash.
Huh.
Why did you think to combine a flashbang and a smoke bomb? I don't Oh, boom!
We then cut to outside where Asatani's just like, Toshio, you cannot just go into a person's house without a warrant. That's not how being a police officer works. It's insane to me I have to explain this to you because you're technically my superior right now. Not really sure how that works. I think it's because I'm from another department transferred in. Whatever.
But I'm pulling down this gated community wall.
Oh, wait, no, I see smoke. That must mean the building's on fire. Excuse me, police officer, you need to let me in because there's a fire. Sir, that's not what?
I'm exercising my legal authority. I'm a first responder.
Incidentally, they do let him in.
Like, that's literally the
logic, yeah.
Him screaming, I'm a first responder.
You can't enter this room. Fuck you, I'm a cop and you already let me through the first door. Vampire rules. And he pushes him out of the way, sees the bookshelf is on fire, looks inside, it's a bunch of smoke bombs. Oh shit, there's a bunch of stolen paintings in here. Also, there's a paper that says Cat's Eye was here, but they didn't take anything.
Dear detective, we'll come back for these later. Huh? Did Cat's Eye just help me? What?
They've only helped me and apologized like 4 times at this point.
This must be an important clue to decipher who would be Cat's Eye if they're willing.
Yeah, so clearly the day is saved. Shiguchi is arrested. Everybody wins. And what do you mean they let him go?
Now, before we get to the next chapter, I just look. Okay, so like this isn't actually diegetically happening, but I just love with the degree of stupid that all of these characters are. The fact that Toshio is like these smoke bombs, and Ai's like luminous smoke bomb. You mean? Like, I know that that's not actually diegetic, but with all the other stupid in this manga, I couldn't help but laugh at her holding up the fucking smoke bomb.
Please.
That is weird that the room was full of smoke bombs, just like the one that knocked me unconscious when I came here to like drunk bang my girlfriend.
I was too drunk to remember anything that happened. Anyway, what's this about Shiguchi getting let off the hook? Damn politicians and their ability to bribe their way out of trouble. If only there was some way we could stop him. Cut to Shiguchi in the middle of the boardroom meeting of evil art dealers. It's a ghost, I tell ya!
And now we're at the plot. And this is also the point where it's revealed that, like, the vast majority of characters who have been stolen from were all evil, including apparently Ai's boyfriend's dad. Because they specifically call out they stole jewels from the crown jewels from you.
It's the cabal of evil art dealers who all simultaneously betrayed their mentor 11 years ago, getting him caught in a house fire that was meant to have killed him and destroyed several art pieces. However, recently, those art pieces are getting stolen back by Cat's Eye, who clearly it must be the ghost of our old mentor who we murdered. Or else, no wait, didn't he have 3 daughters? That's bullshit. Women could never be active agents in the plot. It's gotta be a ghost.
I love that is their logic. I also love the fact that there's a mastermind that they refuse to show the face of, despite the fact that that jawline belongs to no character that has been introduced thus far.
Whoa, Cat's Eye shot a crossbow bolt through our window with the announcement of their latest theft and this conspicuous listening device. We better say how we're going to hide tracking devices in all of the paintings so that we'll be able to find their headquarters by letting them steal it.
I do love how they just don't touch the arrow at all. They're just like, oh man, that was really crazy. Well, better go back to discussing our plan. like the arrow didn't interrupt them at all.
And it's like the brazenness to just do this in the first place. I don't know, like, obviously, like, they're not necessarily out for blood, but, like, the fact that one of them can just shoot a crossbow bolt into a meeting filled with the evil like, they...
Oh my... And the one thing I kept, like, thinking about was, if you see how that, like, radio transmitter is hidden in the arrow. If they had looked at it for any amount of time, it would have been
They would have
obvious.
immediately known, yeah. But even the villains aren't professionals either. The Phantom Thieves, the police, the villains, nobody's a professional manga. Except for Asatani in that one chapter.
Asatani's a professional right now. She's just like, hey, work husband, you're working the night shift, eh? Well, I'm off duty, so I guess I'm just going to be thinking about you all night long. Don't catch a cold, hon. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
All right. I, Shiguchi, am in the car with the other Yakuza mob boys following the radar, tracking the tracking chips inside of those paintings that were stolen. We've got it, director. We're following Cat's Eye. All right, we're gonna take him out. Whoa! A car is driving right at us in this one-car wide alleyway. It bounced off a brick and drove over our passenger side windows.
Yeah, I will say I do like the bit in where there's the two goons outside the safe. It's like, man, we're supposed to like take a dive. I don't know if we can do that. We're just so good at our jobs. Immediately hit with brick.
Yeah.
It's a very basic joke, but it's well executed.
This is also the chapter where I goes from like just plucky high school girl who's following along Big Sisters to insane magic levels of technomancy, because she makes a remote control car, not an RC car. She remote controls a fully standard automobile.
This is a 70s Benz, and we know it's a Benz because it's got the hood ornament. But she is able to, much like a modern day smart car, remotely turn off the brakes
and take control of the steering wheel. I actually started flipping through it again. Because I wasn't sure if she had just cut the brake line and that's all. But like, no, she's in control of the steering wheel too. She has a little RC car controller.
Yeah.
And she drives the Yakuza boys into the station, crashing through the front door. Gonna be a little bit hard to get out this time.
Further proof that vehicular like accidents have negative impact on the human body.
The director is like coughing up foam.
He's not foaming at the mouth because of the crash. He's foaming at the mouth because of the ghost.
Yeah, because the other two guys are completely unharmed, despite having gone through the freaking wall of the police station.
I do like Ai's cute little panel of "Boo, I'm Cat's Eye, the unfriendly ghost."
That is cute, yeah.
Thus leads us into our final arc.
Where they just shove all of the plot. You thought there was plot in the last one? No, this is where it all belongs, right here in this chapter.
Yeah, they have been slowly drip feeding the plot to us in the last couple of chapters. Now they are going to pour the plot all over our heads.
In a way it's super weird, because I was mildly uncomfortable how this plot begins. Because there is a strange gentleman who has been visiting the cafe for a few times. And I has especially noticed him repeatedly. And I is just like, I never knew my father. This man seems very interesting. And it's about the age of a father figure. Like, I know, you have a boyfriend. It also has, possibly in our reading, my favorite silly walk from Toshio. Because he just Frogman Jones his way in through the front door in a way that makes no sense.
How are your legs attached to your pelvis right now, mister?
It just looks like he's sitting down in the air, but he's walking forward through a door that's already open. Just whoop.
Using them cartoon physics, using the Toon Force.
Hitomi is actually a little alarmed that her sister has had such a fascination with this older gentleman, Mr. Miyake.
He's been hanging around a bunch, and the first time he had appeared, Toshio had brought him because, you know, he's an art dealer, so my job of protecting art things. They were just talking work in the cafe, but he's continually showed up for like a week straight since.
So I just likes him because I's never known her father and just has like a whole like I need a father figure in my life kind of vibe right now is her character for this chapter. Hitomi, very confusingly to me, seemed to believe this man was her father, and I didn't understand. It took until the end of this chapter to fully understand why she would think that.
I didn't. Did she think that he was her father? Because I thought she was just suspicious of him.
I thought she was suspicious of him. It's just like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I thought she was suspicious of him being like an enemy, like one of the cabal or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like she didn't know if this was an individual who played a part in the disappearance of her father. Like she seemed to recognize him, but didn't know if he were foe or friend.
I'm realizing now I thought the reveal was that he was going to be her father for that like entire thing after it's the face.
Oh yeah.
I got that conflated with Hitomi thinking that. I'm probably also conflating it with I thinking that he is a father figure kind of deal.
But yeah, Hitomi is more sees him as more suspicious generally, like part of the cabal that killed their father. And
yes, weird old man A.
Yeah, and for the rest of this chapter and most of the next one, he's basically going to be, yes, I am very suspicious, and I am going to dangle juice in front of you to try to get you to make a mistake. I'm actually not evil. I'm actually your father's friend. What?
I'm super good, you guys. You don't understand. I was such a good friend of your father. I literally sacrificed my left arm in order to get the message from your father saying, I entrust my wife and daughters to you.
Well,
yeah, that's the other time the mom is mentioned.
Yeah, so what he does do is he's like, hey, by the way, I know you like this painter. This painter had a self-portrait that's not well known of. I happen to have it in my private collection if you'd like to see. And she's like, my God, that's my father. And then she's like, he's just like, I want to see Daddy. It's like, well, we got to steal this painting from this guy. And then they go to steal the painting. Like, my God, it's our father. And then Mr. Miyake shows up. He's like, by the way, I've been a good guy this entire time.
Well, no, it's worse than that because it's like they do their cat burglar thing. There's no security whatsoever. This is suspicious. I'm like, leave! Trap! Leave! and then they walk into the room that's not locked, that has the painting in it. They pull the canvas off of the easel, and is indeed their father. And then the light clicks on. It would be easier to see if the lights are on, wouldn't it?
Why is no one we faced thought of this?
and then Rui the face and realizes it's their father's friend.
Rui's just about to kill this man, but luckily she hit him in the glasses. Can't see me without your glasses.
Girls, it's so good to see you again. Oh, my days. I never thought I would ever find you.
I'm only bleeding a little bit. Don't worry.
Your father entrusted me with the message that I was to protect his 3 daughters and his wife. I mean, 3 out of 4 ain't bad, am I right?
I mean, I also lost you for years on.
I also lost you for like more than a decade, to the point where like 2 of you are fully grown adults. 1 of you is a high schooler. We're not going to talk about it.
It's gotta be like close to 14 years is the problem.
You're the Baudelaire siblings, but like
he died 11 years ago, so it's 11 years.
I guess that tracks. That
oh god,
2-year-old I doesn't remember her father. Yeah,
no, they are the Baudelaires.
No, they're not. Stop.
This is a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, but good things happen to them constantly.
A series of fortunate events.
Yeah, considering how stupid they are, though, to be fair, everyone is stupid, so it's kind of a level playing field.
Your father is alive, and that painting is proof. You're gonna need a lot of explanations, my friend.
Well, you see, this self-portrait is younger than 11 years old. What?
It was attached with a note that told me to look after you. I did a terrible job at this, but it's okay because I'm missing an arm.
and you see actually every art piece that you stole, specifically portraits, not the jewels, that had the signatures of other artists on them was actually a forgery. I looked at it with x-rays, and it had your father's signature on it the whole time!
Excuse me, I have a question. And it's not related to anything that's going on here. I just wanted to know, if all three girls are right here in the middle of the day, how is their cafe still running?
Don't worry, they have a stand-in.
This will be answered by Mouse walking in, seeing a black-haired, effeminate figure in an apron and saying, "Ha, Hitomi is defenseless. Time to slap that ass. Oh God, Toshio!"
I love how like, subdued Toshio's reaction is. He's like, buddy, what's going on here? I didn't know you swang that way. Man, I know this is a pretty, like, rockin' butt, but not for you. It's so chill. It's just like...
Mouse's excuse.
Just guys being dudes.
He is very comfortable with his sexuality. A king.
I love it because Mouse's excuse is just like, oh wow, in that apron, I literally could not distinguish you from Hitomi, which means that Hitomi and Toshio have identical butts.
Yeah, that tracks.
That's what all that coke will do to you.
They work out so much.
You know what? I'm just gonna let my man cook.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we go back to the plot where
The plot? I never knew her.
God damn it.
Me neither.
But yeah, the way that this is explained makes it continue to be unclear whether or not the sisters were intentionally only stealing their father's paintings or not, because like they act surprised when they realize that a bunch of these were because it's the same name that keeps getting printed over their father's, but they were also already supposedly only stealing things that their father had painted, so I feel like they should have known that already.
I think they're only stealing from the people they know killed their father.
Oh, you know what? That track.
And then it turns, what he's saying is, by the way, those are all like counterfeit art dealers that don't understand how you counterfeit art, because what they've been doing is putting a fake name on real art.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he mentions that it's not just about the money, it's about the prestige.
Yeah.
That-
Also, it seems that like they're aggregating multiple artists who have talent into one like super artist is the kind of deal.
Yeah, because it's all Kranov, which is the name of this
evil organization.
The evil organization, Kranov.
Also, they cut off my left arm. This is a weird tonal shift for this manga.
We've just been stealing art pieces that featured women prominently in the center of the frame because that was our father's style. Wow, we were actually stealing our father's portraits? I feel like there's three different layers of your motivation that none of them match each other. Shut up.
There are three different sisters. They each have different motivations.
That is the excuse, isn't it?
No.
It's not a good one, but it's the one the manga's probably using.
The manga's not using an excuse.
The manga's not
manga
even.
does not care.
Manga doesn't want you to pay attention to that. Ugh.
Hey, Rui, could you stop doing crazy dangerous shit?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Wait,
Well,
why am I the
I
reckless
can't
one all
stop
of a
you.
sudden? I'm not the middle sister. Ah!
I want you to know how dangerous these people are. They cut off my arm. You did that earlier. I'm doing it again.
Mouse, why are you listening in on this conversation? The aristocrats? Wait, if you're here, where's Toshio? Oh, he went running after some guy who looked like the author. I feel like this is a bit that would only happen if you that you would only understand if you got the volume. Wait a minute, that looks like that bomber from before.
Even though it totally doesn't.
I mean, presumably the author's picture would be at the front of each. It would be at the front of the magazine he's being featured in.
Toshio gets in a knife fight with the bomber in an alleyway, and good thing he had that apron because it gave him some cloth to wrap around his arm as a shield for parrying.
and he beats up the bomber and threatens him with a knife. And he is drawn in a completely different style.
All right, Bomberman, tell me what your plot was before I cut your nose off. I put a bomb in the car outside that cafe. It's going to go off at 3 p.m. What? 3 p.m.? But it's 2:55. It told me, don't go near that car!
This is insane.
Get down, Mr. President.
He literally jumps on them to push them out of the way of the exploding car, which explodes in such a firebomb that it takes up like the entire street it's on.
But he only gets enough shrapnel in the shoulder to cosmetically and dramatically bleed, but suffer no serious
No
injury
permanent damage. Yeah, we need to assure the audience.
at police hospital.
And also, more importantly, despite the fact he spent no amount of time trying to shield it, Hitomi's flat butt is unharmed.
Well, it's such a small target.
Yeah, but it's such a wide angle. Such a wide flat angle is the problem.
Anyway, that's the end of our reading.
Yeah, the sisters are by their new ally in the shadows tasked with their next daring heist.
The goddess Mars, which the pose of this woman is something.
Are you sure this isn't from the Rings saga? Because those booby armor plates have a certain I've read the Eddas once in high school vibe. Anyway, thus brings us to the end of our reading. So favorite character and favorite of the vignette heists. Personally, as much as I hate him for everything he represents, I like Toshino. God, I hate him so much, but he's consistently the most interesting guy, which I think explains why everybody in Tokyo wants to fuck this moron.
Everyone in Japan wants to fuck the dumbest man in Japan.
He's so stupid, and that's what makes him endearing. But no,
he's too stupid to be anything but earnest.
Yeah. Of the various vignettes, obviously my favorite is Kitten Explosion, but to talk seriously about it, my favorite was the Cat's Helping Hand, the one where Toshio was about to get demoted, because that felt like the second draft of chapter 3.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like, all right, we need to pull off something where we save face, but we also save face for Toshio.
Did you feel like if this was, the next story segment of chapter 3, that you think the plot would have continued to progress? And I say that just because, I don't know, it felt to me like this, like everything else in between was blatantly filler in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It felt disconnected, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, to a large degree, at first, it as a story clearly was designed to be episodic and not serialized. They added a plot so that, there would be a driving narrative force to keep readers invested.
It's like, at what point do you get caught in the same rapids over and over again? It's like, whoa, bumbling cop versus master thief.
Master thief in air quotes.
Master thief in air quotes, but it's like, sure, master thief can keep succeeding, bumbling cop can keep be bumbling, but at what point does the ludonarrative dissonance break, and suddenly it's like, why does bumbling cop still have a fucking job?
I mean, not for nothing, but friendly reminder that Zenigata from is actually really competent, and the only fails is because he's up against Lupin. So that doesn't really happen here, because
everyone's too stupid to live.
Toshio's incompetent when he does other things too, because he's never cat mouse, because Mouse is his best friend, the journalist.
Yep.
And the bomber, his plan for the bomber was dumb, And it didn't look like he was going to do it anyway. His plan was to run up there in a dress and beat the shit out of the guy for some reason.
Jay, how about you? Favorite character, favorite vignette?
I'd have to say favorite vignette would have to be the shenanigans over I must get Papa's portrait of myself as a child by all means possible. I couldn't wait the 6 months. Something about that was hilariously like you've got to be kidding me.
That has a good balance of like that hits the sweet spot of like
this is when I knew I was reading, like, if I didn't know up to this point, this is how I knew I was reading that was written by a man.
Yeah, this is like corny rogue backstory drama.
Favorite character? I'd have to go with Mouse, simply because he kept the Toshio in check, let him know that he better shape up because Hitome has options.
Correct. Matt, how about you? Favorite character and favorite vignette?
Favorite character. Good question. I think I am gonna go with Asatani because the fact that she immediately knew who the thief was solved the case and was just like, why is no one just solving this? God damn it, you stupid men.
Yeah, she's great.
Which leads into my favorite vignette being the night flight is a dangerous fragrance. It's just like, I smelled the perfume that was both on the calling card and on your arm when your girlfriend was weirdly trying to mark her territory the second she even noticed another woman in the picture. Kind of weird.
This is the smell of female territoriality.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the Kaito Kid enjoyer in me, but I love Phantom Thief with just stupid relationship drama. So I didn't mind when she was just like, by the way, I might be into my coworker. And I'm like, good. You two are a better match, please.
And Jacob.
Favorite character. This is one of those ones where none of the characters individually really stood out to me. This is very by the numbers tropey feature, not a bug. That's not a complaint, but it means that nobody really popped. I want to say Asatani, but the only chapter I liked Asatani in was the first one. I didn't even necessarily mind her like catching feelings for Toshio. It's just like the degree to which she stopped being an intelligent person kind of frustrated me. You can have her still be suspicious of the actual people and just have them have to be clever to get out of those suspicions chapter by chapter. Other than Asatani in that one chapter, I liked like she's very cute. She has like strong Daru energy. I want to give her head pats. So just to be different, you know, I guess I'll say because when she was actually doing things, she was quite fun to watch. You know, like Matt mentioned I'm the spooky cat's eye ghost, and you know, kitten explosion, and you know, she has bits like that. I think it took them a while to figure out that she works as the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
But by the time they really nailed down where they were going with everything, I found a pretty solid place within the cast.
All right.
As for favorite vignette, none of the heists were really heists is the thing that kind of
like
stalls me.
Oh, what? You didn't like the crown jewel heist?
And you know, like that's the most egregious example, but really didn't like there isn't like this sense of a convoluted plan coming together because they feel too short. Like I feel like most of these could probably be 2 chapters because then you can spend the first half of chapter 1 on the relationship drama. Second half of chapter 2 is setting up in the beginning part of the heist. Then the climax of the heist happens at the beginning of the next chapter, and then you bookend it with relationship drama. Because they're all as short as they are, all of the heists feel really quick. Because I mean, not for nothing, I'm probably gonna have to go with the skyscraper tightrope bit, because I feel like if that heist had more room to breathe and feel like a heist movie heist, I feel like that would have been really clever. Because it's one of those ones where it's like, the Phantom Thieves are doing the obvious Phantom Thief thing. Oh, but oh no, the cops are genre savvy. They know to look out for that. But the Phantom Thieves are genre savvy too, so they double fake. It's like, had that been executed a little better, I think that would have been really cool. It's just as it is, it's just kind of fine, and that's, I hate to say it, my opinion for most of them. They work. They're fun, but they're not as good as I feel they could be. And I think we kind of did a little bit of the thoughts on.
Yeah.
It's
one of those things where it's like, okay, we're gonna do a fun episodic story, everybody. Cool. We've done 10 episodes of this story. Crap, we've established dynamics. How do we make the dynamics consistent? Crap. Oh, quick, somebody come up with an overarching plot.
I mean, I don't know. It's definitely being written as it's moving along is kind of the deal.
Yeah.
Which is normal with serials.
Okay. As a former fanfic writer, I cannot throw stones in my glass house of serialization, but
I'm gonna say a controversial opinion. I think they could have gotten away with Cat's Eye just being two sisters. I think they could have easily condensed the cast into just the older sister and
the hothead.
And just give some of the stuff that I does, give that up to I can't even remember Hitome's name. Yeah. Hitome's name. Give some of her like more level-headed stuff up to her sister. Like, I feel like then you'd have two characters, because as is, Rui kind of doesn't do a lot.
Yeah, Rui basically is the adult in the room.
There.
And like it feels like you could have I have like 3 plots in this that could have just been given to Hitomi, except maybe the high school one, but it seems like the manga itself ignored most of that chapter, so like But I mean, that's probably sacrilege, because this is such an old series that clearly has success, and just like, well, yeah, it's obviously the 3 sisters. Why do you want one of them not to exist? And be like, why do you have 4 Ninja Turtles when you could easily have 3 Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, to a large degree, like elements of like this series showing its age and whatnot. I mean, good on it that it's getting an anime adaptation, because I feel like, as far as I know, the series like reached a conclusion. Like, obviously, it's not still publishing. Like, I feel like if you take the story at it like in its totality, look back on it, and then rework it so all the pieces fit together properly. Because there's a lot of stuff here that it's like, this is a good idea. I like it. It's just not fitting properly because they clearly came up with it this chapter. Like, there's a lot of elements like that. And I think it's great that it's getting an anime adaptation, because that's a perfect opportunity to fill in the little gaps, make the early installment weirdness a little more consistent, and streamline everything. Because not for nothing, I think you can have the 3 sisters all work together, because they have distinctive roles. Hitomi is the protagonist. She's hot-headed, but she's mostly like a bridge between the level-headed and a bit passive older sister and the inexperienced, starry-eyed younger sister. And those two play into Hitomi as the protagonist well. It's just, because the plot's so thin, Rui doesn't get to do a lot.
Also, Hitomi would have to be the sole protagonist to get that much. But the problem is Toshio is also there, hogging more spotlight. It's kind of like, this is really spreading itself thin. We're chapter 14, and the cast is like 7-8 people.
Yeah, it's the problem with, like, we've got deuteragonists, but one of the deuteragonists is part of a trio, but the other deuteragonist is part of a duo, except maybe he's part of an entire squad. It's like this manga doesn't have a clear like main cast, which makes all supporting cast feel equally relevant, which really like dilutes the focus.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you can do a large cast like that. It's not, I would argue it's not impossible. It's not even that hard, but you have to be doing it with intention.
Yeah, it has to have intentionality.
And that's sort of what I was getting at with anime adaptation. Awesome. You know what the entire plot is going to be start to finish. you know who all the characters are and where they end up, so you can put them in a place that, you know, fits a little bit better and works, you know, because again, it's like the bones of this work. There's a lot to you know, there's a lot to enjoy here. But it feels a little clumsy.
Yeah.
Like the Phantom Thieves, as it turns out.
So the question becomes, would you continue reading? I think this one's a no from me because, like, once I got the vibe, I enjoyed it. I don't know. It just feels too incongruous. It feels like, all right, if I want to watch a goofy, haha, you know, thief versus bungling police officer, I can watch the new Netflix version of Carmen Sandiego.
True.
That is a really good show.
Or the original Carmen Sandiego, or like...
That's also a really good show.
There is choice for the vibe that this gives.
Wait, isn't the original Carmen Sandiego a game show?
No, the other animated Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, okay.
There's apparently there's lore to this. Look into
I
this
like
after.
all three of those shows. All three of them are a masterpiece, and I will hear nothing else on.
All right. Carmen Sandiego simp over here.
Yes.
I feel like no, the other one is like a common refrain on this podcast. Anyway, Jake, would you continue reading?
So it's gonna be a soft no from me. Hey, audience, if you like this, watch this episode a bunch of times and get its listen count up, because I feel like this would be a fun revisit. I would love to do more episodes on this, but I really don't think I can bring myself to read it on my own just because of the amount of stuff there is. You know, I mean, just another Phantom example of Phantom series with a plot. I could just rewatch Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. It scratches the same itch and also is way more plot driven, even if it also meanders a lot, but that's another matter entirely. You know, and then there are just other things on the podcast that I'm more invested in that are more to my taste. Some of the things about this, even, you know, it's like the episodic elements are like it was trying to do that. That's a feature, not a bug. And I tend to gravitate towards more things that more serialized stuff. But I enjoyed this reading. I did it really quick, and I, you know, don't want my time back. So I definitely do it as, like as another episode.
All right, Matt, how about you?
I'm going to say a no. I'm not going to say a soft no because I don't mind that there was only one blonde in this entire thing. But
it had cats to make up for that. That did not factor.
But yeah, I don't know. It felt derivative, I think, is where I'm gonna land on it. I enjoyed parts of it. It just felt like I've seen it better. And like we kept mentioning Lupin. Lupin came out like 10 years before this. So it's like
we have Lupin at home.
We've had Lupin for 10 years when this came out, is kind of the deal. Like, it's, yeah. So it would have to do something different, and it does, but in a way that I don't really enjoy. And it, I don't know, it kind of span its wheels. And then when it did reveal its plot, I just couldn't bring myself to care because it's so convoluted. And like, plot predictions, sure, what I don't think we did those, but like, I can't imagine the ending for this is satisfying.
Fair.
But yeah, I would not continue reading.
All right, and Jay, how about you?
I'm gonna have to also say no here. I don't think, kind of to Matt's point, but for different reasons, I think this genre, and obviously I'm commenting from this current year, but I feel like this genre became what isekais are today, and that the market is oversaturated with them. Because I don't feel like there's anything particularly unique or captivating in this series. I did enjoy it. I affectionately say it is a piece of its time, because obviously there are like tropes that, you know, when I started getting into manga were like tropes, so it's like nostalgic in a way. But I think we're good. I kind of feel like this is, not really going to have a huge pivotal jaw-dropping twist to it. And I feel like there are other series, other mediums for this trope that have happened and are just more entertaining for me personally. So that would be a no.
All right.
Yeah, that's a rare case where it's a 4 no's for something that none.
Yeah, right.
I guess that's just what you get when you're a decades old, solid dime a dozen expression of your trope.
Yep. So, Sam and Jacob, go back, tell your friend that we hated the thing they recommended and never do it again.
Sorry, Zebra.
Use those words exactly. What's wrong with you?
So thank you everybody once again for tuning in to the Over Manga Cast. As always, you can find us on all your social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast.
You can
Pure
also
by the day.
You can also find us on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. Those episodes go up on a 2-week delay, so if you want to catch our up-to-date stuff, head over to overmangacast.com. That even has a section where you can recommend series, ask us to do revisits, because, again, I'd be fine doing another episode of this, or give us some more Phantom Thief stuff. I don't really interact with the genre as much as I wish I did.
And as always, we appreciate reviews in any and all forums, wherever you can find them. I don't know where you review podcasts anymore. If you're listening on an app, probably there. Do it right now. Look at it. I don't care if you're driving a car. I don't care if your family's sitting in the back. You pick up your phone right now and you go into it and you press that 5-star button and you write a full detailed review about how funny this was and how great this is and how you hate the fact that we didn't love Cat's Eye. And because of it, you're now driving into incoming traffic with your family of 6. Why'd you have 6 kids? Not for good reasons.
Did we just write an isekai?
Oh no, raccoon! I went into another world with my family of 6.
Matt, what are we reading next week?
Oh well, in the holly jolly atmosphere of a full minivan crashing into oncoming traffic, I'd like everyone to remember the holiday season.
And what truly matters.
Family. Not being crushed by buses and auto fatality.
Wait, Matt. I
Oh,
know you're trying to. Matt, I know you're trying to save the bit here, but
welcome Christmas, welcome spring.
We've lost him.
Matt, I know you're trying to save the bit here, but next week is actually Boxing Day.
Oh, thank goodness.
Fuck. Let's just read Hajime no Ippo. Chapters 1 through 20.
13, 1 through 13.
Works for me.
Read that if you keep it up with the podcast, and we'll see you all next Thursday. Good night, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
The Over Manga Cast does not condone using your phone while in traffic. If you crash into oncoming traffic, that is your entire own fault, and maybe you shouldn't listen to what people tell you to. You should think for yourself, you stupid cuck.
Also, send me $5.